Welcome to Dicefunctional, where a bunch of friends have fun playing D&D, and we share the story with you, our wonderful audience. Warmest of welcomes to you all, and welcome to the show. A special welcome to those of you tuning in for the first time. We hope you enjoy the adventures of Fortunes of Blade as we continue our journey through all of the general insanity that we're running through right now. It's a good time. We hope you guys enjoy, and thank you for tuning in. A little bit of housekeeping before we begin. If you are looking for previous adventures, if you want to catch up on some things, especially with all the lockdowns going on around the U.S. right now, it's a great time to go ahead and catch up, especially if you're bored and you have nothing else to listen to, or if you want to recommend others the show and they're like, hey, well, you know, where do I start? Check us out on all your favorite podcasting platforms, wherever it might be, and go ahead and check us out on YouTube. Just search Dicefunctional. You'll find us. Easy as that. Couldn't be easier, could it? Nope, it couldn't. That's answering your question. No, it couldn't. But yeah, we appreciate you guys. Yeah, even if you want to re-listen to things, if you think, oh, well, you know what, that makes sense from something in a previous episode, there you go. We got it all there for you. Lots of episodes, lots of fun. That's all. That's all I got. Anyone else have any sort of announcements or anything like that we want to plug?
I think I do have a little plug I want to do just for something minor. I got a present recently of a dice tower, and it's actually really fucking cool. And I actually wanted to just give a plug to the guy who made it.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, it's Troll Manufacturing on Etsy. The guy made a really, really cool custom dice tower with Cthulhu designs all along it, and it looks quite rad, to be honest.
Yeah,
it also has Mom written on it in very tiny text, and we don't know why, but it does.
He does a lot of different designs, though. He doesn't just do Cthulhu. And I think he does do custom for a little bit extra, but they're really nifty. They're travel-sized, and they're kind of
it was able to go into the plane with no issues.
I know about them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I just wanted to say that because it's actually really, really, really cool, to be honest.
Yeah,
also podcast.
Did we?
Also the podcast, yes.
Did we want to mention the change in format to our Saturday sessions starting probably next week?
Yeah, go for it. Listen. I am only here to direct things. This is up to the producer and everyone else. If you guys want to plug something.
I mean, I just wanted to make a small announcement that starting next week, we will likely be starting using webcams. Not everyone of us will use it, but most of us will, and it'll add some interest to our screen. You can see our lovely faces, and it should be a more interesting viewing experience, and it'll help us out as well, so we can see each other.
And some of us will do makeup. Lord knows I am.
And some don't have to. I encourage no makeup because fuck that, it's quarantine.
Every time we see Jill on camera, she's going to be in Rose makeup or in a different character's makeup every single time.
You see, I was gonna say, bold of you to assume I will allow anyone to perceive me without
makeup.
A mess of makeup on, especially on the fucking internet.
I am putting on makeup.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Here's the dichotomy. I will not wear makeup. Connor will not wear makeup.
I never wear makeup. I barely
won't wear makeup. Jace, Michelle, and Jill will probably always be wearing makeup.
I just realize that nicknames are still.
I will always be wearing some sort of different outfit. That I can promise you. I'm
excited for that. Actually, I get to try out makeup.
Tune in for that.
That's my plan for next week.
Yeah.
Also, Monster of the Week.
Yes, Monster of the Week.
So we did a session yesterday. We did a session yesterday run by Jess, and it was fantastic.
I would talk more, but I'm inhaling food. Sorry.
You're good. Jess ran it. It was fantastic. We're going to have the video up on our channel on Friday. It's a lot shorter than our regular sessions. It's about 2 hours long. And we'll be doing we're going to be doing this fairly regularly. Maybe in the next couple weeks we're going to be doing our next session. We have to figure out the timing on that. But it's been really fun, and Jess is our characters are really, really fun. It's an interesting group, and Jess, is running a pretty cool game. It's really exciting, and we all want to play it, right now.
I've made the mistake of letting them do whatever they want, but it's going to cost them.
It's so right now. That hurts my feelings.
Not right now, Connor, but you know what I mean. Like, we'd like to play this, like, fairly soon.
Jeez.
Connor, we'd like to play this right now.
Dungeons and Dragons.
I don't want to play Dungeons and Dragons right now, especially since we took a break last week.
Yep.
But yeah, we're gonna have that video up on Friday, and also the podcast feed. Speaking of that, before I forgot to put an episode up on Friday, which that means I'll just add an extra on Monday. We're up to 59. Technically, it should be 60, but it's not. We should be caught up on our regular in the next month or so, hopefully. And then after that, it will be every Saturday
week.
Will be the one from the week before.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Any other announcements?
No.
That's all I had.
Other than
Jace,
I
go.
make really tasty burgers, I think my next announcement is that it's time to start the game. But before we do, as always, we need to introduce the cast, because that's an important thing that we do in this game. And first, we have Becca playing the feisty half-elf rogue warlock, and the one who at the end of this could absolutely be an exterminator as well as a hunter. It's Dea.
I don't have anything clever to say, but I'm here.
Yeah!
Hey!
That's the part that matters. Next is Michelle playing the tiefling wizard and the one who prepared the fireball and the salt for this village, just in case. It's Rudy.
She still wants maintained. She wants to burn it to the fucking ground.
And that has not changed. Next is Jess playing the tiefling fighter paladin and the one who did her best impersonation of coming out of the pan and into the fire. It's Mercy.
I don't know how to feel about that one.
Other than very, very warm. That's how I would feel about that one. Then we have Jill playing the halfling fighter bard and the one who's just confirming her hatred of bugs. It's Ro.
I'm glad that we all had a whole week to come up with something clever to say, and all of us put off the homework for so long that we did, in fact, fail.
I think we're all just tired right now.
It's
4 o'clock in the afternoon.
I'm proud of all of you. Next is Cody playing the Kitsune Oracle and the Nightlight of Hope. During nap time, it's Haru.
Yes. Well, he certainly could use a bit of light because he has very limited vision.
Just constant nightlight everywhere. Like, I give you this. We do have Jolly on a little bit of a vacation today, so Maddie will be helping out as she's able to per DM permission. But finally, we have me, Jace, playing the Fearbold Paladin Barbarian and the one deducing all of the things. It's Gale. Very careful, because you never know. One day he might end up with a Sherlock hat to go with all of the weird teeth and the wind chimes that are hanging from his antlers. Anyway, featuring a sword that's sometimes a dog and a dog that's sometimes a sword, we got our DM ready. Connor, go ahead and take it away!
Oh, thank God I needed that. Where we last left off, our group of intrepid adventurers had managed to get back onto the island of Harproy after being chased off by a mob of angry, incensed, aggressive cultists, well, villagers. They attempted to burn down their ship and do something to the crew. What their current plan was is currently unknown. But the team managed to get away, and then they decided to immediately get back onto the island because, well, work's never done. By doing so, you guys eventually found a villager you were able to what's a polite way of saying abduct? Commandeer. Where you then cast a cure lesser wounds, correct? Sorry, no, cure a lesser restoration.
Lesser restoration.
Yes, you cast a lesser restoration on him. And found that he was more or less being mind controlled by some kind of a parasite, for lack of a better term. Having words with the man, you received more information about the village and the individual in charge, a man by the name of Dean. And then you began to track him, finding that he appeared to have made his home at the far, far northeastern section of the island, sectioned off from itself in an old ruins. And as you began to cross across the water to go to said ruins, a few of you felt eyes watching you, but you could find no source. So, are you guys going to go straight into the ruins, or are you going to hold outside for a little bit, or what's the current plan right now?
I did want to turn to the group and just be like, this Dean fellow, if possible, I want to talk to him, and if it comes to a fight...
Paula Dean.
All right, come on. You named him.
I know. It just came into my brain and I had to say it. I don't know why.
This is your doing. She's like, basically, I want him alive, but if he does die, I want that book. And then she kind of hesitates, and goes, and thank you all for coming along with this. This has turned out to be quite bigger than any of us could have imagined. And it turns out to be linked to me, and I hate that that it's come to this, but you know.
That's part of being a family like this, though.
Yeah, we did
That's
the
what we
same
do.
thing. We did the same thing for Rudy.
Yeah, you knew what you were getting into for Rudy, and I didn't ask you guys to go after my ship, and...
You put us on the ocean. Arguable for most of this group, considering 2 of them can't swim, it's about the same.
You asked us to go fight a sea monster, and now we're going after a boat. This is a marked improvement from the original plan.
This is true.
I mean,
also, when we were helping out Rudy, we didn't know that they were literally going to be throwing bodies at us. Not like the sense of the phrasing of, we're going to throw bodies at them and send soldiers after them. No, they were literally throwing bodies at us. That was a bit weird.
I forgot.
Even for me.
Reminded me of that.
And I mean,
Because that's true.
I hesitate to say, but this does seem to be connected to the sea monster, so you're just more connected than we thought. It's all parcel and part of the same thing, so part and parcel. I'm sorry. It's all part of this, it's all the same to me, really.
Isn't there the saying that life is a circle?
Yes.
You could say it's the circle of life.
That doesn't make sense. Life then would have to have a square and a circle and a rhombus and a diamond, some sort of weird triangle thing that has like 12 points.
Fucking hell.
Life is a circle. It goes around and around.
Life's like a bunch of various shapes in a box, and they're all made of chocolate.
And you have to squish each one to actually know what flavor they are, because the packaging doesn't tell you well enough.
Exactly.
But then like 3 of them are missing because your cousin ate them. That's what.
Which was
somebody told
weird
me
because
once.
when it was given to you, it was unopened, but there were 3 missing.
They always tell you that they didn't eat any, but there's always 2 missing.
I kind of wonder how they get the
How
packaging
is
on so
that?
well.
Jace, I do need to break character for just half a second. Okay? Part of me is really curious. How did Gail's cousin get a hold of a box of chocolates?
Oh no, it wasn't my cousin. No. This was, so I had a dwarfish friend named Chris.
Oh my God.
He had this thing where his cousin kept stealing tools out of his shed. And then one day he brought him a box of chocolates. But there were a bunch of them missing, and he said, well, this always happens that a bunch of them are missing. So when your cousin brings you a box of chocolates, a few of them have to be automatically missing. And then his cousin hit him with a hammer, and it was really awkward.
Oh. Okay.
What the fuck, dude?
Well, thank you anyway.
You're welcome.
Oh. Jess, are you being attacked by cats right now? Uh-oh.
Well,
Jace,
figure
your
it
cat's
out.
killed Jess.
Continue onward.
Oh no.
Missy has killed Jess, and
Entirely possible.
R.I.P.
Dean is just like, this is what I'm up against.
Well then.
So how are we approaching this?
Generally by walking forward.
I was gonna make the joke.
I'm pretty
Sorry,
sure
Rob.
that stealth is not much of an option at this point.
I can't shake this feeling of being watched, so I feel like I'm not sure how much stealth is gonna help, but we can still try to approach the ruins stealthily. Obviously.
Stealth.
Just one foot in front of the other, I guess, until we find him.
Ow! Fuck!
God is dying.
So, do we vamp enough for?
Housing emergency. Sorry, we're good.
Okay, good.
Oh
A
no.
bunch of water got spilled.
Oh,
We're good.
okay. Okay.
Nothing serious. Not like hitting your cousins with hammers.
Why did you hit your cousin with a hammer?
You missed the
Oh
whole
no, you
story,
missed it, and you
Mercy.
get to
You'll have
listen to
come
that when
back.
we start over.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're not telling that
No.
story
I
again.
Please
had
don't.
I had to solve a problem.
Oh, it kept going, but this isn't the time we're trying to chase people.
We're trying to sneak up to some ruins while being
So
watched.
stealth checks.
We
Stealth
could
checks.
have a whole
Yes,
podcast
you guys can
that's
make a round
just
of
Gale
stealth
telling
checks.
stories. I mean, we really
Right.
could do that if
We
people
definitely
wanted it.
could.
Oh no, you 100% can. But I will say, from a man who is trying to maintain a certain tone right now, it's really hard to do that when Jace is being very funny because
You're
it's
welcome.
actually a pain in the balls.
This is what I'm good at.
Yeah, thanks, bud.
You're welcome. We're rolling stealth. Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Right, I'm really good at this. That's
so
really
far.
good. It's more than one.
You're kind of
actually-
I
concentrating
got
on
an
telling that
11.
story.
To be fair, that's probably my average. Yeah, I was busy telling the story in the middle of that.
Yeah, we're trying to be sneaky, and Gail's like, so one time I noticed dwarf.
Got bludgeoned in the head with a hammer. So 13, 20, nope, 19, 27, natural 20
No.
from Row.
It was a 19. I accidentally did
I'm in
survive.
fox form, so it's 19.
Yeah, a 19 from Haru, a 4 from Gale, an 11 from Moisey. Are we missing somebody? Oh yeah, the character I'm in charge of right now. I apologize.
Yes,
Look,
The one who's
a lot of
player
things
is-
escape my head right now.
that's fair. Everything escapes my head.
What?
What?
I mean, Miss Rosenvale didn't, but I mean, that's kind of beside the point.
She did not.
Real quick,
that's only
you're
a 12
saying
from
that,
me.
you're saying that like Gale won't come back for her.
Yeah. So, you guys begin making your way into the ruins, and as you do so, you begin entering into a cold, dank space, surrounded by almost this. Stop it. This very moist feeling surrounding you, which is almost uncomfortable to a point. You are walking on what appears to be an almost like an old stone path or something of the sort. Let me double check the. God damn it, Jace! Why do you? I need to keep editing your token because you never have sight.
Oh no, I can't see shit right now.
I know. I'm sorry.
Wait, are we supposed to be able to see something right now?
You're on the very bottom. Just
Oh,
scroll
geez.
all the way to the bottom.
Yeah,
of
it's
your
like a
screen.
really big map. I didn't know. I was at first.
Big
I was
long
For
like,
a
hey.
reason. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Never trust that.
I can see something.
Yeah, there you go, bud. You appear to be on some kind of a large carved stone walkway made of this almost purplish reddish stone. It has this odd little tint to it. Surrounding you is what appears to be this odd, murky, dark-colored fluid. It looks a lot like water, but it appears dark, hard to peer through. The most striking thing for all of you is, even for the people who normally would not be able to see well in low light, you can still manage to see in this area. You do not see any lighting around you, but there is enough light for you to be able to see.
I see. Oh.
So, does anyone have something we could drop into this stuff? Or should we not do that?
Oh, I've got some walnuts.
That would work.
Okay. Gail's gonna take like a handful of walnuts and just like throw them in.
Just like overhand shuck them into the liquid.
Yeah, you know how
sure.
kids get like a handful of pebbles and just yuck
And then
them
just
into
like
the pond?
eat them. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about now.
You are not a little kid. You are a barbarian with 18 strength.
I
So
know.
you just kind of reel back and throw the walnuts into the water, and they go sink into the water.
So it appears to act like water, at least.
It
Are these,
certainly
like,
does.
ledges? Are these like extra hallways?
They look almost like balconies of a sort. You see two doors on either side over there, and with Dea's insane perception, you know that there are also what appear to be like almost like ladders that are going down here at the very edge of each of these balconies, air quote. But the hallway continues forward.
The ladders reach the water, I assume. Or are they up?
No, they basically the stone walls that are on these walkways go down into the water, and it meets up against it. So the ladders go down, but you don't see where they go down to.
Everybody stay together, please.
Just a little far ahead. Well, then keep up.
On the bright side, we still have Water Walk active.
Do we? Oh yeah, my cloak
Wait,
is definitely
If we
active.
water walk, do you think it works on this?
It works on any liquid, even like magma, acid, etc.
Yeah,
Not recommend on magma though.
would not walk on magma.
I know, but I had to ask. I didn't know.
Yeah, in theory, you could work on anything. You know.
It even works on quicksand.
That might be useful in the future.
I guess the easiest route is straight, so I guess we can continue.
Okay.
I don't see anything else that like would make us change course.
No, just the doorway to the left and the right. All right. So do you guys wish to continue heading on?
Sure.
If you see
Ding.
something,
I
make
have
sure
revealed
you
the
say
area.
something.
Oh God! Stop.
Okay, come on. Stop it.
No, I shan't.
Shanty?
That's Dea's domain.
Nah. Moving forward into the hall, you guys can move your tokens. You're good to go.
Just trying to get the map into the stream. Okay, now we're dancing. Okay.
No, bro!
Bro!
No!
I'm gonna go home. Okay, bye.
Aw, you slut.
Ew, no!
Get back here.
Near the front.
This guy is likely also able to turn into some sort of fish person. So
What are you
Sure,
doing,
that-
Ro?
make sure he is
Like a
not
20-foot
hiding under the water.
Kid.
Well,
Man.
that was kind of my hope with the walnuts. Is
What if
that
he-
if it was
he-
something living in the
he
water,
don't-
it would react.
Get off of other people's tokens. Yeah, the water does not appear to react. No. Moving forward, you see that the hall then splits into what appears to be a four-way intersection. At the edge of each one of these hallways, there are doors, of course. One heading north, one heading east, one heading west. You do not see any windows or anything of the sort. The walls themselves appear to be made of stone that is very much similar to that of the walkway itself. And you still are able to see just fine. No lighting.
Okay.
Hey, Ro, do you not need your lamp?
Yeah, and not that I'm not totally loving this whole, like, I can see everything thing, but the amount of distrust I have in my heart right now, not optimum. Not a good amount. I don't like it.
Well, it seems like we have some choices of where to go, potentially. I don't know if anyone feels strongly about a direction.
Fucking hate South.
We're
What?
already in the south.
Yeah.
We will continue to move away from south then.
Okay.
But
Is there any way that we can kind of figure out which way that what's-his-face went?
That would be most likely. Boy,
could we like listen for something?
yeah, perception would be to like try and listen for sounds, which would, yeah, that's a decent idea. To look for like tracks to see if anybody's like disturbed the walkway. You could also do survival, but as it is a stone walkway, it will be a bit tougher. You're looking at much less in the way of disturbable material.
I am going to sniff for things that smell like low tide.
I'm gonna listen for any
Not a bad
unique
idea.
sounds to, if I hear anything down one hallway or the other.
Okay, so Dea, listening throughout the actual hall itself, you come to the very sudden and immediate conclusion that you are not hearing anything else through the other doors. Not silence. You are hearing zero, nothing. There is nothing past the other doors that you can hear. Haru, using your sniffer, as you do have advantage on smell-based saves as a fox, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, you would be able to put your nose to the ground, and you know that there are quite a few low tide smells. It seems like there are a lot of smells of low tide that head off in this direction. A few that go like to and from this direction, and a few that go to and from this direction. It appears to be mostly just the same one going this way. There's a large number of various smells that have gone this direction, and it seems like a certain group that went this way.
I would say in Sylvan, it appears that there is a large group that headed up north fairly recently.
So, quick question to all of you. We're not trying to pick a fight, right?
I mean, a fight is not the first go-to. I would like to
Then,
talk to him first, if possible.
since this is his home, I think I should knock on the door.
You
There it
certainly
is.
could. I won't
It's an
stop you.
option.
I mean, we don't have to. It was just more of a polite thing. But then again, if he's immediately ready to attack, that would alert him.
I mean, if he was in charge of the people, he sent people to try and kill us and burn our shit. So announcing where we are might be a bit stupid.
Yeah.
Well, I would say we probably either follow the group Haru mentioned or the single person is my guess. Like the big group, not the... So either forward or to the right.
Or we could go left. Because if they were floating, they wouldn't have made any sort of footprints.
It also might be good to check to see what they aren't going to.
Unless it's a really big dragon or something.
We already fought one dragon. How many
I know,
dragons
but
do we
if
have?
this is the god of the sea, he probably has a couple dragons.
We could always split up.
We
Search for
could.
clues.
I think
Absolutely.
that's what I'm saying.
Advisable.
No,
Absolutely not.
I don't think
You
that's
will
advisable right now.
You could take on the appearance of one of their own and then enter the door. That way, if there is somebody there, they might not be immediately loaded. But if the hallways in there are long, I cannot promise I'd be able to see to either end of it.
All right. Well, who do we want to potentially face down? One person, big group, or a medium-sized group?
I think we could take any of them. But it's like, what's our motivation level right now? How are we feeling? What's team morale like? Do we
I
want...
have no uses of luck left.
Let's do the single person then.
Okay, so you want to go right?
Unless someone dissents to that and doesn't want to do that.
I was gonna say, there's also the option, if we really want to look and see what the group is, because we haven't seen what the group is. If the group is maybe some people who haven't been turned yet, maybe we could help some people.
The large group, you mean?
Aye.
That
I
is
didn't
true.
smell anybody in there that smelled like a normal person.
To be fair, though, once you're infected, if it's the early stages, you could probably still be cured.
I am curious about the large group because I really didn't expect a large number of people here, and I'm a little worried about what this means.
You followed tracks here, didn't you?
Followed track.
Yeah. So where
Who's
did they come
track?
from?
The deans.
No, it was a bad name.
Oh.
Oh,
It might mean that there are numerous people simply stationed here.
There could be sacrifices. I don't know.
Could be a ship that came in that we didn't
Could
see.
be.
it could be a party.
It could also be a party.
I don't think this is a good place for parties, but it could be.
It could be if
Yeah,
it wasn't
fun,
infected
Connor.
with frog people.
What was that?
Having fun moving the tokens.
I'm making you all into a nice little spot so that if I have to move you guys, I can. Because like when you're all spread out, it becomes a bit more awkward.
Okay.
Yeah,
Should we
I
check
am
out?
not in the front.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. In that case, let's go forward to the large group. Was that north? Was that north?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, everyone want to move north?
Yeah.
Sound good to
Sergeant,
everyone?
Dale, you might want to check the door for track.
I will investigate.
Roll.
Huh?
Roll
I'm
investigation
great.
check.
Okay.
I can help. I can help her investigate, I guess. I will do that.
No need. Nat 20.
You're fine.
Okay,
Door's
guess not.
fine.
You know that there do not appear to be any mechanical traps on the door at all. But with the investigation check, you would note that along the actual rim of the door itself, there is some kind of a line of sigils that is actually lining it. It doesn't remind you of a trap, though. It's almost like some kind of an enchantment.
Hey, Rudy.
Glasses up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shortage of detect magic.
So, oh boy, this would most likely be a particularly strong conjuration effect.
Oh boy. So is it something like protecting the door?
No,
it seem to be-
that's abjuration.
Okay.
It's not a trap, but you also would note that while wearing the glasses, your range of vision is what, like
30 feet. So I would
Thir-
get within 30.
30 feet. So
Yeah.
no, that's to move Gale. I don't need to move Gale. I just need to. There we go. Yeah. If you observed any of the other doors, you'd note they'd also would have the conjuration sigils on them as well. And this entire area does appear to have some kind of a magical effect that is active. But you're not sure what it is.
Well, there seems to be some sort of effect here, but it's conjuration. I'm not sure what it could be. To be quite honest with you, it's a bit hard. Maybe. This is a. Can I study the runes to see if, like, I can maybe discern them a little bit?
Sure, it'll be an Arcana check. It's a
Okay.
reasonably like mid to high range
Okay.
roll, but yeah, just go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Could attempt to dispel
A
them.
20.
It looks a lot like the spell that you'd use for things like rope trick.
So pocket
Or-
dimension.
Yeah, like it looks a lot like the spell of rope trick, and maybe like some of the sigils you'd see in a bag of holding.
Ooh, interesting. I think,
Bigger on the inside.
this might be, yeah, it might be some sort of demiplane?
No, it's not. It's not that strong. Demiplane
Oh.
is. It's quite literally. It is. It is
So
a.
pocket dimension. So it's pocket dimension. It's a bit of a.
So
That
in
seems
other
like a fair
words-
assumption.
So like something I'd see. Yeah. So it's something like I'd see on. Like on. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
You were saying,
So,
Jess?
if it's like a bag of holding, could we turn it inside out and everything that's in it would come out?
You can try, Gail.
No, actually, I have an idea, Gail. Since a bag of holding can't be opened from the inside, what if we can't open that door once we're in?
I like the idea of trying to turn it inside out better.
Yeah, I don't want to get trapped in it, so.
True, but what if we break it?
Break the door?
No, break the thing around the door.
I mean, it's worth a shot. What's the worst that could happen? We alarm them that we're here?
It's the same as knocking,
Exactly.
pretty much.
Except this one might have some benefits for us.
What do
Could
you want
do
to
that.
do?
If you would like me to attempt to dispel it, I could.
If you feel like that'll work, and then we could have Rush shoot it.
Oh,
My
Oh,
only
boy.
problem with, wait, hold on.
oh
My-
boy.
My only problem with the dispel magic, remember what happened at the rocks?
Yeah,
It came
might come back.
Might have the same issue.
True, but if it works like a bag of holding, if that doesn't exist, maybe everything will come vomiting out of it.
I am like this close to just straight up opening the door.
Well, touching on the thing that Gail said, you can't open a bag of holding from the inside, so maybe there's something in there that we don't want to let out.
Maybe we should move away from the door before we try to break it.
That's probably a good idea.
Why do we break it? Why don't I like peek in first? And
You know what? If you want to peek in, go for it.
okay, I can peek in, and then we can decide if we're gonna break the door.
That's a good idea,
I
because
will-
nothing
will
bad
po-
ever happens when you peek indoors. You're not
I will-
supposed to.
I will
Exactly.
also point out, if you peek into a bag of holding, you don't actually see anything.
But if
But
she
can
does,
it
then it's
see-
not a
I'm-
bag of
I'm
holding.
j- My eyes are special.
I will also point out I said akin to a bag.
No,
of
no,
holding.
I know,
That's not
I know,
exactly
no,
like
I know. We're just going on the. This is a bag of holding.
Well,
To
we're
Gail,
working
this is
on-
a bag of holding that's just really big and made
It's
of
a big,
stone right
it's
now.
a big room-sized bag of holding.
It's true. I want one of these. I could
Storage
fit a
room
lot of
holding.
things.
Gail, you couldn't carry it.
You say that now, but have you tried? Have you watched me try?
No, okay, try to lift up this.
It's in the wall. I can't lift the door that's in a wall.
All right, can I just like nudge the door open a bit and
You certainly
peek
can.
inside, please? I'm just gonna do this. Dangerous as fuck, but
Taking a peek inside of the room.
the temptation. To push
Oh!
me in.
Jess!
It's open like maybe like an inch or two.
Yeah, you're just peeking in. I figured.
Trickster, you know this.
Peeking inside of the room. You see that it appears to be a almost like a polygonal platform made of the same material as the walkways themselves. But inside, you see what appears to be 12 pews arranged almost in like a diamond shape. And they are all angled inward, facing what appears to be a stone statue that is currently facing away from you on a large circular plinth. The stone statue does not look to be humanoid by any means. Instead, it looks to be almost vaguely crustacean.
Crab people. It's a church, yeah. Dave's gonna like nudge the door open a little bit more and be like, it looks like a church, maybe?
It also looks to be empty right now.
Yeah. Do you want to check it out, or it looks like it's just That's probably what Harry was smelling. This is probably a congregation area.
It would make sense there.
Kind
The only other alternatives would be climbing over the structure on the outside or trying to see if we could walk under or around on the water, so...
I mean, there are other doors we can go to.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do? I'm fine with you guys all.
So,
Oh, sorry.
do we think that there's anything that we specifically need to look at in here?
I
At the
don't
moment,
think so. No, not right now.
The only thing that I
Because-
could think would be in there is the book.
Do we
I
need the
think-
book?
I think if the book, I think he probably has the book on him, to be honest. Doesn't seem like something you'd let go of.
Then I don't really see a purpose of going in, at least at the moment.
Okay, and I was gonna double check that there's no other doors in the church. Like it's just
Hey,
a one
No. There are 3 doors.
in the church.
In the
room?
church, there are 4 doors together. There's the one you're at. There's one to the north, one to the east, one to the west.
It's a fucking labyrinth. Okay.
Dance, magic dance.
Question. There, because you can see in there. Are there enchantments on the doors that are in the church?
Are there? Can I see from here?
The enchantments on the doors that are inside the church.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. It's the exact same as well.
Yeah. Oh, I am starting to worry that this is similar to that guy's
Meston.
house that we teleported to. What's his
The
name?
Meston.
Meston.
Where we had to keep going in the certain direction.
Yeah. We'll find out, I guess. We'll figure that out.
Let's go through the door.
Are we gonna go through? Are we gonna backtrack and go through the door on the right, or are we gonna continue through here?
Again, are we going into here to find the book? Do we need to find the book?
I don't think the book is here. I think
If we
the
find Dean, we'll probably find the book.
That's my
Exactly.
thought.
Okay, so we
So
see
we
the,
should-
the church here. We know where this is, and we know where this leads into this big room. There was the one set of tracks that went right. I say we go after what we know is the target.
So we go back and we go right.
Hey,
Aye, that's my thought.
before
That's
we
my
do
thought
that,
as well.
just one quick second. Dare close the door and open it again and make sure it still goes to the church.
Okay, I do that.
It does indeed still go to the church.
Okay, making sure it wasn't just a changing enchantment.
Are there any windows in the church?
There are no windows in the church either.
Well,
That's
if it's
stupid. You can't have any pretty windows in the church. There's supposed to be pretty windows in a church.
well, if it's like its own little pocket dimension, there's not going to be windows to anything, so it kind of makes sense, I guess. But yeah, pretty windows are
Void.
important in a church.
Alright, let's get moving then, since we know at very least it's not a changing enchantment.
Yeah, let's go over and peek through the door on the right.
On the right?
Yeah, we're going. Yeah, that we're going back, not through the church, in the door on the right.
No, I get you. So peeking through the door on the right, you guys see what appears to be a large, fairly empty room, also on almost like a platform made of the same stone material that the walkway is made of. But at the very center of this room is this circular. Pardon me. The circular ring made of a dark stone that seems very familiar. It looks just like the stuff that you saw at the ritual circle. And inside, there's a similar liquid that was there at the circle. An odd material that looks like it is putting out light. As a matter of fact, it is the only light that you've seen being emitted inside this entire area.
There's another thing here that's like the pool of water we saw.
Maybe this is related to why that other portal did not stay sealed.
Are we
Possibly.
upside down?
What?
So if this looks like the other one, maybe they're connected at other ends. What if we're upside down? So when they would put things into that one, it would come out here, it would fall down.
I do not believe that this matches the description of cold but place with very high pressure.
I think no, they're probably both connected to the deep, deep sea.
Oh, okay, so these aren't other ends
Probably
of the
not.
same hole. Okay.
It would be a lot of things that would be upside down here if this was the other end.
But if it was magical and we stepped through a pocket into a pocket dimension, we could be upside down, but not know it because it's magical.
I mean,
This
technically,
is
Fucking
a
hell.
if a tree falls in a forest and no one's around,
It does still fall and it makes a loud noise.
but
The
if no
trees
one's
tell me
around,
about it. I've actually asked that question. The trees have told me it's very loud when one of them falls.
Wait, a tree actually answered you once?
Aye.
The orientation of any object or person within a space is all based off of perspective.
I don't know what she
Everything.
just said, but okay.
are there
Everything was upside down in a pocket dimension.
Just smile and
Then
nod
that
your
would
head.
make everything the correct way up. But it's all the correct way up in relation to one another.
we're not upside down because everything else is right side up to us.
Mostly just
Right.
like smile and nod.
And also, this isn't the same. It isn't just one big tube. It's other tops to the same big tube.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
do we want to go in?
Sure,
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
This one seems less, culty of the
Should
ones.
we be quiet since we are supposed to be looking for a person?
We should be as quiet as we can.
Okay.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Stop it.
Gail's gonna look around at the room. How many other doors are there in this room?
There are 4 doors.
4 doors, including the one we went through, or in addition to the one we went through?
Including the one you went through. There is one
Got
to the
it.
north, south, east, west.
Hey, Connor,
Okay.
you said this is like a little petal like the other one? So that's water?
Yes, this is, the same water, air quotes, that you saw back at the ring. Or the stone ring that you saw about back near town.
So this is probably just another portal to the same area. Which means resist the temptation to stick your foot in it.
Definitely don't cannonball into it.
Cannonball!
There's nothing to hide behind here, so I don't want to tell Gale to throw anything into it.
Well, if this lines up right, then the left door should lead into the church. I wanna
Certainly see.
peek in there.
You see the church.
Awesome. Cool. Okay, that's good. Still the church, guys. We're good.
Should we go north?
Maybe listen in to make sure there's not people at the other 2 doors and then decide from there.
I'll try. I'll go and listen at the north door.
You can make another perception check if you want.
14.
Much like the last time you tried to listen through the doors, you hear a complete absence of sound.
That's what I thought. What if it's like betrayal at House in the Hill?
You're giving me too much credit, bud.
I know.
I'm not.
It would
I
take
would- I
much
would be-
longer to set things up.
I'd be going insane if that was the case.
It's like that like that clip from the cartoon where they're like sitting down the train tracks in front of the train, like.
But yes, you're not able to hear anything through the doors.
Yeah.
I wonder if it muffles the noise between the doors.
That's my fear, but I mean, this place seems pretty empty as well.
Oops.
You did something.
I did do something. I'm gonna have to change that. Oh well. Okay. You're good.
I think we're just gonna have to like kind of trial and error these rooms. Unless
they
look-
we're hard to do a sneak.
So pick a
If we're
random
trying
door.
to find the large group, then if we head north, we would still be headed in generally the same direction.
That is indeed an assumption you can make.
I guess we can continue north.
This would-
Anyone have differing
I-
opinions?
Not really.
Okay, then we'll
Right
go
now
north.
it's just trying to explore.
Okay. So, you guys head through the northern area. It's gonna be dark for a second. Give me a.
Where did we go on the map?
I know where
you-
I am. I'm right there.
I'm
Here I am.
There we go. You appear in what appears to be
Oh,
almost like a study area.
Is this blood?
Let me
troll
describe.
blood.
Let me describe. You find there are two desks. Both have a kind of a curved horseshoe-like shape to them, with a few vials and potions sitting on them. There's a chair between the two, as well as a few shelves that have large jars on one, and on the other they have another like small collection of vials, some of which are filled, some are not. But the large tables that are conjoined to these smaller desks are coated in various amounts of fluid. Blood is the most prominent one, but there's also an odd, tacky, kind of a pale gray liquid that is present as well. And on the one to the north, that is further up to the right, there's also what appears to be a large puddle of vomit. Indeed, yuck.
Can I go up to the potions?
You certainly can.
See if I can, like, identify them? Like, sort of shake them around and see if...
Find out what they are. So, looking through the actual potions themselves, it seems like just kind of a collection of more mundane potions. One looks to be something like a potion of water breathing. It's kind of bluish in color, does have a bit of a salty smell to it. There is a green one that looks to be just a potion of, well, poison. It's poison. Another one that looks like a healing potion, just your regular run-of-the-mill basic one. And the other one looks to be not a potion per se, but instead mercury.
Should we pocket these?
If you want them, take them.
I was about to say, we could probably use the mercury.
I'm sure we can find a use for the poison somewhere.
Gale, take them. Gale, take them.
I would
okay.
like to medicine check the kind of grayish fluid and see if it's similar to any of the fluid on the bodies that I examined previously.
It'd be
You can
melted
certainly do so.
brains.
Ew.
Yeah, Gale,
Well,
add
actually,
them to-
speaking of brains, in fairness,
That would just be the 10, and that's a nat 1.
it's a natural one. So, maybe you're not sure. Also, why do you? Yeah, I was gonna say you shouldn't have the +4. Speaking of brains, though, in the jars on the shelves, you do see what appears to be a brain floating in a jar.
Ew.
The rest of them are empty for the most part, with a few having what look to be small bits and bobs from what was probably a humanoid. Bits of webbing that looked like they may have been between something aquatic, like their fingers or maybe their fins. You don't know what. One hand, just a hand. It looks very fishy, and it does look to have some talons on it, but that's a hand. But yeah, so you have a small collection of a mad scientist's paradise right there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this looks like, from looking at all of this looks like somebody is trying various experiments on various things.
Dea picks up the jar with the brain in it, and she so that Ro can see it, and she goes, "Hey Ro, look at this."
Ro definitely wasn't facing it and turned around and just came face to face with the brain and did a little bit of like, oh god, Jesus.
Hey, Gale.
What?
The puke that's here, does it look like the same puke that our friend that we healed puked up? I know that sounds like a weird question.
Gail's gonna get down and inspect the puke.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Go ahead, bud. roll me a perception check. I just need to point out
That's
the
a
comedy
17.
of Mercy going. I mean, I could mention this to the smart characters, but you know what? I think Gale is much more familiar with vomit than everybody else here.
Gail's starting to feel like Sherlock Holmes if Gale knew what Sherlock Holmes was. So,
Just
like, as long as you're not like putting a finger in it and tasting in it.
well, I mean, Gale is gonna kind of poke it a little bit too, because
So
Gale
yeah,
remembers the worm.
Yeah, I can't actually describe it to you. It is definitely what appears to be leftover food from someone's stomach, mixed with some blood and other flesh-like material, almost like the inside of an esophagus or something like that was thrown up. You don't see anything worm-like you saw previously, but it certainly does look like... yeah, so I'm sorry, guys. It does look to be quite painful, whatever happened here. Also, we're done now.
Yep.
Perhaps someone's body was rejecting the parasites.
Alrighty.
I'm glad to know me and Jill have the same feelings.
Yeah, I can only apologize, but it was just, it kind of fit for the gross, kind of creepy, sciencey part here, so sorry.
That works. Okay, so it rejected, so this was a uncomfortable experience. So this is where they're testing the worms on people.
It would seem that
Or
way.
they're testing what happens to people who are already wormified.
Yeah.
Or
Maybe someone here's trying to cure it, even?
could be. Or they could be seeing what happens. Nope, I had a thought and I lost it.
Been there, buddy.
Okay, so
Maybe the parasite wasn't perfect?
could be.
Jace, can I just say one thing for you?
Yeah.
Like, to you, not Gale.
Yeah.
If I ever give you an intelligence boosting item, it's going to be a Sherlock Holmes hat.
Yes, I need this.
It's gotta be. Like, it's gotta be the deer stalker cap,
So-
alright? Because it's perfect.
Does it sit on the mohawk or does it sit on their antlers?
I'm just gonna imagine him hanging off one of his antlers.
Yeah. It'd be the most glorious thing.
So what we're saying is they've been experimenting to perfect the parasite?
It's a possibility.
So
What
it's
was
a
your other thought?
humanoid, like it's a created thing as opposed to a
Natural. We don't
natural?
Possible. Gail, what was your other thought?
Oh, I lost that thought. It left the building. But so whatever it is, either there's somebody who doesn't understand whatever this is. there's somebody who understands what it is and is trying to change it, or somebody's really bored and trying to make more of them.
What, like a feeding room?
But that doesn't make sense to me because they're taking people's brains out and you need the brain to move the body parts. So then, unless the worm can be the brain...
Hard to tell from this room, but it's more data to analyze later. We may find the missing pieces later or further within.
If we alleviate island of this parasitic infection, then we might be able to find more information here later.
Yes, Jess.
I have a question. Was the brain jar labeled Abby normal?
What?
No, it was not labeled Abby Normal.
Anyone who's watched Young Frankenstein, you know.
Uh-huh.
Who's
It's
Abby Normal?
It's not labeled Abby Normal. It's not even labeled.
Or,
I
sorry,
do appreciate the reference, though.
Young
Is it-
Frankenstein.
Is
Sorry.
it like a regular humanoid brain, or is it one that has shown, like, changes like the...
It appears to be normal to a point. Like there are a few developments that are a little odd and a little bit different, but still mostly a normal brain.
So, like, my guess would be that a lot of the studies done here are studies along the midway through the process of the people becoming these fish people. Not before or afterwards, but during. Almost like studying its progression.
Also a high probability. Regardless, we should move on. You never know when someone's going to walk into one of these rooms.
We also won't have any other answers here. We're just speculating. We need more information.
Gail, would you like to open the next door?
Sure.
I mean, you're
Gail's gonna
already
listen really hard at this particular door that Gail's at.
Perception check.
I'm going to perceive what is on the other side of this door. With a
Oh,
natural
shit.
20.
Natural 20, nice! Pressing your ear up against the door, you can say without a doubt in your mind, there is nothing past this door. It is dead silent. Not silence that you'd expect to hear in, like, say, a forest where the birds stop chirping. There is no sound. Period.
There's no sound on the other side of this door.
It's still so weird.
Ro,
Yeah, what's up?
can you, when I'm gonna open the door, can you be ready to just shoot something if it's on the other side of this door?
I am always at all times ready to shoot anything.
Okay, everybody
Damn.
back up.
Wait, this is one quick question. Does that include us?
If you're on the other side of this door, I will be more confused. I will probably start swinging.
I'm just
Because you're
saying,
on this
like,
side of the door now.
nobody here has seen the list of people I trust. And there's a reason. It doesn't exist. Open the door.
All right. Ready. On the count of 3. 1, 2, and then Gail's just gonna, like, open the door, but also, like, run out of the way at the same time.
Gotcha. Free and clear.
Exactly.
Okay, you swing open the door, and looking through it, you see another hall that just stretches forward.
A hallway, not a room?
A hallway.
Can't shoot a hallway.
These rooms have
I mean-
connected by hallways.
Do they all, if I put my glasses on, do they all have that conjuration
Yes.
on it?
Yes, absolutely.
They're all in their own pocket dimensions. That's why there's no sound.
Well, that's annoying.
How
That's
are
why
we
you
supposed
can't
to
hear.
know?
Makes being careful real difficult.
It's on purpose. They're trying to shield whatever it is, and if you have everything in their own little thing, can't hear what's going in there, so you're going to be surprised if there is something on the other side.
In that case, I'm
Also,
gonna
because they
say
can't hear us coming.
say this.
That's true too.
Jess.
Jess?
Gail should probably be the one opening the doors then. No
Yes.
offense, Gail, but one, you are a monster, and two, you also are very alert.
Got it.
Yeah, either Gale or Mercy, yeah. I guess just,
Out of character,
They
Gail
can't-
has danger sense, so I feel better having him open
Yeah.
the door.
yeah, no, if we can't hear what's on the other side of the door because of these enchantments, then there's no real point in being so careful. But it also means that they can't hear what's on the other side, so they don't know what we're here. So
Got it.
basically,
Connor-
let's proceed.
Connor, weird question. I just can with keen mind, I remember the path that we take, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool.
So far,
You can write down the path if you're worried about that.
I would say, yeah. Rudy's just like writing down what doors they take,
Yeah.
just
So-
in case, so that I can work my way backwards if I have to.
Okay. So, you guys go through the door, and you find yourself there.
It is a maze.
God dang it.
Fucking roll 20, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Question, if we go back to the door we just went in, is it the place we just were?
Do you want to go through go back through the door?
I just want to open it. I
Before
don't
we
wanna
close
go
it.
through
Or,
Okay. Opening the door, you see that it goes outside.
Right. It's a maze. Okay. Fine. It's a maze.
Okay, well, hey, we know things,
Wait,
so
guys,
let's make our way back to the lab.
I know what we have to do.
What?
We have to listen for the music.
What?
Stop it!
Not Legend of Zelda. There is no music.
Yeah, just chase the monkey.
You've set me up to so many jokes today.
Oh god. Do we want to retrace our steps and try a different door, or you know what? It's
mean-
been working so well.
But
We
say,
could-
for all we know, that if we go a different way, it's just going to do the same thing. So it's better to retrace what we know.
Okay.
If we go back to the lab, Haru will smell around to see if he can track where that individual went.
We could also potentially cut through the church.
I would say maybe it's just best that we go the way that we already know works, just in case.
Okay.
You can do that. So, while you guys are making your way through the same rooms you went to before, I will have a round of perception checks.
Right.
This is everybody.
Perception. 24.
All right.
Don't.
I'm going to look very carefully at my surroundings. And I got to 24 that time.
Gail's
Only
doing
15
great on
cent
perception
based.
today.
Okay. I won't roll for Maddie for this because
I
yeah.
rolled like shit like I
It's
normally
easier.
do.
it's just easier, yeah.
Yep.
So Haru, Ro, and Mercy, there's something odd, but you can't put your finger on it. Dea and Gale, the liquid in each one of these rooms, you note, has actually started rising slightly. It's not like it's happening steadily, but somewhere between the lab the first time and now walking through the rooms again, it looks like it's risen up in height.
Oh.
Well, that's
And-
comforting.
Since you guys both rolled 24s, it's not that it's rising in level, it's that it's almost like it's crawling up walls.
Great.
Water doesn't do that. Water fills the volume of its container.
Yeah. Well, let's just try to get through this.
So we came from the southern door, correct?
So
No.
you went here at the four-way intersection, then you went
North.
You went
yes.
Wait.
east, north, and north, and we ended up back at the start.
Yep, you went north at the portal room, and then you went north again, and you
I
started
know,
back
but
where
I'm
you
saying
were.
we entered from this door.
No, you entered from this door.
Okay.
Oh god, that's so confusing.
So
It
east, north,
east, correct? Is what
No,
we
we went
did?
east, north, north.
Yep, east, north.
East.
But we entered on
Okay.
the east door of this because
Okay, I'm writing it down because fuck it.
There's a very special way that you could actually visualize this map, and it would make perfect sense.
All I know is right now Kana's taking influence from the spiral, and I don't like it.
The what?
Jill will get it.
TMA.
Oh. I need
Can
to
I-
watch that, or listen to that.
It's good.
Alright.
So which door do we want to go through now?
I kind of want to try this door.
Okay.
Or yeah.
We should maybe open other doors and see if there's something on the other side before we go through it either.
I mean, we don't have to go through the door. I just want to look. We're always looking first. Well, we have 2 doors that we haven't been in this room, and so
So
might as well.
Gail pick the door to open.
Jace is dead.
Oh no.
No.
Oh,
What?
Jace is thinking. We're gonna check the doors, but since you're the one opening, pick one.
I can hear the dial-up modem sound right now.
All right, we're gonna go through this one.
Okay.
You gonna go that way?
Aye.
Gonna open the door and see what's on the other side first.
So Gail's gonna do the trick of got the hammer kind of sitting on the shoulder as we're starting to open it up and look through,
Okay.
just in case.
Peeking through this door, you're looking inside of another room with a similar layout, basically. Pardon me. Rectangular, 4 entrances, north, east, southwest, yada yada. But in this room, you see the ground is covered with hay, piles and piles of it, some of which has become stained rust red from, you can assume, blood, with a few blankets tossed in. Laying on a few of the piles are what look a lot like the villagers when they turned into their fish-like form, but a bit wrong. They look almost like they're stuck midway between one and another. You see one that has a large, almost like anglerfish-like mouth and these big bulbous eyes with regular skin up to a point, and then the appendages go back to having these fish-like webbing to it. But they still have this regular pinkish, pale-colored skin. And you see another that has this odd little dongly bit, because you don't know what to describe this as, just kind of hanging off of their head, and they look normal, and then you notice that like their entire upper half is still covered in scales, but their lower half just looks regular. And that is more or less what you're seeing with every single one of them here.
Are they conscious?
They look like they're currently sleeping.
Maybe just carefully close this door.
Are there any other doors in the room?
There are 4 entrances, one to the north, east, south, and west. And in the room that you're in currently, there's also the one to the south.
Yeah.
Gail's gonna back everybody up and then just slowly close the door.
Okay, you guys back away from the door.
Okay, so in this one, there are
What's up?
sleeping people,
Right.
the halfway people. Let's check the south door. Gail will just point to the door. Let's check that one first before we go through that one, because I figure once we go through that one, either we're gonna have to fight them, we're gonna have to help them, or we're gonna have to start moving pretty quick, regardless.
Yes. Sounds like a good plan. That's
All right.
Very well.
Okay. Moving your way to the southern door. Gale, you're leading the charge.
Yes,
I have to assume.
I'm
but
where
still.
Haru is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry about your organization right
Doesn't
there.
matter.
It just
Go
makes
ahead.
it as much easier for me to move you guys around if you're all in this little cluster.
Nailed it. All
Yeah.
right.
So I'm assuming that you're in front. Don't worry, Jace.
Aye.
Opening the door and peeking in, you see the church. But now you're able to see the statue from the front, and you see it is a little more than just a crustacean. It has 4 limbs, but the ends of the feet are the legs themselves kind of go down and then bend back up like a second knee, and then bend back down again, and then they end in these 3 almost like, I suppose, pedipalps or whatever you'd call them. These little other legs that are jutting off of the ends of the legs. It has no claws, but those 4 legs, and just masses and masses of tentacles that rise off them, floating upward like suspended by water. And all along its face, you see eyes, dozens of them. It's been masterfully hewn in stone, but it is still just a statue.
Does this remind me of eyes tentacles?
I would say, for the sake of simplicity, yes. It does
All right.
remind you vaguely of that.
So, like, the 2 main eyes, and then the tentacles kind of remind me of it. Okay.
Yes. If you want, I can give you guys give you a drawing I did of it. It's not perfect, but it's a close enough image.
I kind of have it in my head. I've got an idea. Okay. So, all right. Okay, I was going to just kind of stop before going in. Okay. So, the thing that we took from the ship, ice tentacles, that reminds me of ice tentacles, which I'm guessing this is probably the Lord of the Sea or the God of the Sea, or, you know, Seaman, whatever we're going to call him. So, this is probably why we're here. Do we want to try and go through here?
I think we could, because we know where the other 2 doors connect to, because one connects to the first hallway and the other connects to the room with the pool. But there's still, if we go through this door, there's still another door that we don't know where that connects to, and there's no sleeping people in here.
Okay.
Might be able to bypass
I'm
them.
not so certain. It might be possible that if we do go through the last door in this room, we will end up in that same room as the sleeping people.
It's possible, but we don't know. So,
Here's my other question. I just thought of this. Give me a second. Gil's gonna take another look around. Are there any pools of water in here? Doesn't look like it, but I just want to make sure.
You mean like the one you saw in the room with the ring of stone?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
No, not like that.
So here's my other thought. If this is some sort of Lord of the Sea, and there's a big well that goes down to the bottom of the ocean, if we're by water and the water was starting to go up the walls, what if that's because this guy can hear us and is trying to get in?
well, that means he's coming to us, so it means our job easy.
Should we start moving a bit faster?
Probably. We are dallying quite a bit.
We'll keep searching like the actual rooms. Once we
Okay.
out with stuff. Let's just move
Alright.
and find.
So we're gonna move in and we're gonna go to that there.
Door.
Yeah,
The
do it.
there.
Go into that there door.
That there.
Door.
That dare do.
Ow, my ankle hurts. I'm guessing you're gonna do the peek again.
Aye.
Okay. Peeking inside, you would note that this is again the same room with the hay and the sleeping individuals.
Okay.
You see there are
So-
4, just for reference.
As I
Well,
guessed.
We're at like a different angle, right?
Yes, it's a different angle.
Wait, now, just for clarification, when we, for these other doors, like, that one, this one, they were straight hallways, they didn't have turns.
No hallways. It was a door that entered to another room. You didn't walk through a hall, you opened a door and there's the room. But when you went through the northern door, you went back to the starting hallway.
And I suggest if we
So
go
something
into
like-
that room, we should take the south door.
Oh, it won't let me draw on that. But like
oh.
that,
Yeah.
and then
We can tell which door we peeked in through before, right? In this other room. Just based on angles.
I believe it'd be the north one.
Say again.
So, we're looking at the sleeping people from a different angle. Can we tell which of the other 3 doors in that room we had peeked through in before?
You peeked through this door,
Okay.
the one that is to the north.
So this connects there. Okay. So yeah, so we can go either south or more east. We probably want to go south though. West. I know my directions.
Should we go south to Snud?
Go south and see if we end up in the same places we
Yeah.
started.
Let's move quickly so we don't wake these people up.
Okay,
You close
so
the door
peek-
behind you, and you continue moving back down to the south.
All right.
Oops, I accidentally took a red mark with me. Sorry, whoever put the red mark there.
That's okay.
No, we were going through the room to the south, I thought.
We're going this.
You're
to
going
the
into this
sleeping
room?
Going into the room.
Oh!
Sorry.
Okay, in that case, I would like a round of stealth checks.
Yeah.
I'm good at this.
30.
Jesus
I will carry
Christ.
you.
Oh, that's a 17.
You got a 17.
Alright, who's ready for... Wait, why are you at disadvantage, Michelle?
Because of the perception check from before. Sorry.
So she got a 14.
Yeah.
No. Oh. Damn
No,
it.
you got a 14.
That's fair. That's fair. In my other game, we just re-roll. It's fine though. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take
14
it.
to 14. Doesn't,
14's fine.
doesn't change much.
These are not bad.
I should roll for Maddie, I suppose.
These are pretty.
There it is.
There's the failure.
God damn it, Maddie.
Manny, no.
This
The
is why
rest
I
of us
don't like
did okay.
rolling for people's characters.
The rest of us did okay though.
Because when I roll like dog shit for them.
We had pretty
Okay.
good rolls all around now.
Alright, so...
I'm so mad my natural 20 is useless.
30, 17, 26, 21.
Yeah, 30, 17, 26, 14, 21, 17, and 7. So ultimately, as a group, stealth check's still pretty good. You guys carefully begin creeping your way into the sleeping quarters, for lack of a better term. And see, yes, there are indeed 4 of these half fish people, abominations, whatever you wish to call them. You guys want to make your way over towards the southernmost door?
Yes.
Okay.
Or should we go all the way to the western door?
I mean, we could, but
I have a thought. What if this wraps around to the well room?
it very well could. Just
You can at least peek in and then go back.
okay.
Okay,
yeah.
so peek south door first.
I
wanna-
will. I was gonna say I will point out. I don't think there's any logical way these things work. So like every
There's some logic. It's just not what we're used to.
question,
actually-
Connor.
Mm-hmm.
Do all the rooms do they look slightly different from each other?
I'm like from the last time you saw them, or
No. Like, okay, if there is a room that connects to a specific room, does that look like different from one that like the one that connects to like the hay room? Does that look slightly different from the one that connects to like the main room, the first
There
room?
are small changes between each room, according to like layout and stuff like that. So yes, they are different rooms.
So can I differentiate? Can I tell which one this is if I look at it, and I can tell where this goes?
You can peek in and find out which room it goes to. Yes, but that's only about what you'd be able to find out.
I want to say from the runes I can't tell.
No.
Okay, that was my question. It was like I was wondering if like the runes would say like if every rune was a specific rune.
Nope.
Is what I was asking. Okay,
Oh, no.
that's fine.
So you would like to? Yes, basically. So you want to peek into the southern door, correct, Gil?
Aye. We're
I
gonna
will say.
peek
I will just say. God damn it! The line's coming with us. Stay. Go home.
Lied.
I don't want you. Get out of here. Peeking to the southern door, you see a 4-way hallway.
Got it. Okay. Gail's
What
gonna
I
give a
thought.
thumbs up, and then Gail's gonna start creeping over to the western door.
Okay. You guys creep over to the western door and peek
Peeking.
inside. You see that you're looking into what appears to be a balcony-like area, overlooking the dark-colored fluid, which has begun to climb invisible walls, from what you can best describe it as.
We-
In front of you, you see the ladder going down.
Fuck. We've looped.
Oh, girls,
Let
it's
us
a
go.
globe. It's
Let
a
us
globe.
go north from this room.
We're in a globe. We're in a box. That's why the shape is familiar. You can fold it into a dice. We're in a box. We're in a D6.
I'm
Yep.
in a. I'm
God
In
damn it.
Someone finally got it.
that's why I said we're in the globe.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Get out of the D6. Well, let's get out of the sleeping room. Let's just go into the balcony.
Okay. So you guys all kind of crowd out onto the balcony,
I don't wanna have
realizing
revelation
there's not a
of-
lot of room, but you managed to get on there. And you see that there's a ladder that heads down.
The good news is one of us is a fox, and the other one's only 30 feet tall.
Yeah.
Currently.
The only place we haven't explored is down. Not my best idea, admittedly, but we are in a box. These rooms are a box.
And a glass case of emotions.
What's in the book?
So, do you guys want to go down the ladder, or do you want to try and do something else? Is Gale going to leap over the water?
No.
Personally, I'm at a loss of what else there is to do, so that's my only idea.
Could try dispelling the magic on one of the doors and see where it leads.
Okay, but then
We try to break the runes.
so there's one thing that we haven't addressed yet.
Okay.
Where's the dude?
Good question.
We have been in every room, so either he went down the well, or he went down into this water.
Yeah. I don't think I mean, I guess we didn't look into the well, but we assumed it was the same, and the other well went, to my assumption, to the deep, deep ocean. And I think even these frog people would not survive that.
Going to do another, like, scent-based perception check here. See if I can pick up on anything.
You can certainly make a scent-based perception check. Nothing of note here. There is certainly a smell that has been here at one point, but it is not recent.
How about we go down?
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, good or
And
bad.
only around.
There's not been anybody right here recently. That is one of the people from the village.
We could also try to wake those people up on the inside and interview them. But I don't know if that's a great idea.
Somehow I don't think they'll buy the traveling news people argument.
Probably not.
Want to go down the ladder?
I do, but I'm also scared and don't want to be first. We still have water breathing, right?
Yes, water
Yes.
breathing and water walking.
That too.
Well, if no one else has a better idea, I will start.
Haru could go first.
No, Haru does not go first. I'm sorry.
Right. A sanctuary.
One of our healers does not go first into the weird liquid.
You're not going straight into the liquid, mind you. It is a ladder that goes down into like a trapdoor area.
Trapdoor area.
It's hard to describe, but basically, like, hold on. If the ladder is here on this square, there is a little area like a hollow to go down into a little like almost like a what's the word? Like a crawl space ish area.
Alcove type.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, let's go down there.
You're not going into the liquid.
Not yet.
I mean, you can.
I kind of just
I won't say no.
tunnel into it.
Okay.
Sort of like tunnels underwater.
In that case, into the unknown. Secret tunnel. Okay.
Two different memes.
Well, Dea is both small and sharp-sighted, so she can go first.
Okay.
Gale
So-
will go second.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mercy will take up the back just in case something follows them.
So,
Gale even fit with his ammo.
Gale,
Very carefully.
would
yes.
you be so kind as to make me an acrobatics check as you kind of squirm your way in?
Acrobatics. Okay.
That's the best. It's either acrobatics or dexterity, right?
Or
Because like you're trying to squirm into something.
I mean, I could brute force it.
I mean,
should probably be
you can certainly
uncomfortable.
do that.
Let's
Look-
try the not brute force way.
Okay.
Actually, that worked pretty well. That's a 13.
That's pretty decent, actually. It's definitely not comfortable, and you realize swiftly that like going in head first is actually going to be a little bad because your antlers curve upwards, and you don't want to break your antlers.
Aye.
And you're a big guy, so you can't really like bend yourself perfectly. So you decide that instead you're going to go backwards and have your antlers scraping against the walls,
Go
and
ahead.
they'll bend, but they won't break. So you're not going to
Nails on
hurt yourself doing
chalkboard.
this. Yeah.
No.
With that said, there is still a terrible noise as you're
Not the
dragging your
glaive out, 'cause
antlers.
I can't do any swinging in this space. Okay, here we go.
But you can definitely make your way through. You're not going to get stuck or anything like that.
Once more with feeling. Here we go.
But as you guys make your way through the little alcove, you eventually find yourselves on the other balcony on the other side.
Oh.
Ta-da.
Hey, guys.
Well, this is fucking obnoxious.
Well, actually.
Was that directed at me or the map?
No, that was the antlers, the headache that's coming
Oh,
on from
right.
this.
If
Come
that's
on,
the
man.
case, that should lead into there.
Mercy's gonna wave at the people across the thing.
Dig half-heartedly waves back.
Well, room.
So the reason you are waving?
Yeah, because I want to know if they can see me.
Oh, they can see you.
It
Saying
was
to...
just making a joke.
Gale's gonna
Because
throw a
Haru
walnut
can't
at
see you
Mercy.
waving, he only sees people waving back.
Hell yeah. I gotta wave from Dea and Gale.
I hate it here.
Gale's gonna throw a walnut.
Hey.
Does it actually hit Mercy?
I mean, it's not a particularly heavy object, so you can
Okay.
definitely throw it at Mercy, and it'll fly towards her.
Okay, so you're real. So now I'm real. Okay, that's good.
Can I take the walnut he threw at me and shove it in my pocket for later hijinks?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's solved. We should go to the well room now, because that's the only other place that this guy could have gone unless he's hiding in the statue. Do we want to go break the statue, or do we want to go into the well?
Never really investigated statue or anything.
It's true. Well, Gale, if we go through this door right here, we'll end up in the well room, so...
Okay, so we'll meet you by the statue.
Or they could also go through the crawl space. We could just
I
follow-
don't want to.
You could absolutely go through the crawl space, which is not in any way uncomfortable for anybody my size.
Well,
It'll
Gale,
be better to go through the crawl space because
We don't want to
things
split
about
up.
not splitting up the party.
Yeah.
also, I don't want to go through the room of sleeping people again if we can avoid it.
Yes.
Alright.
Okay.
So you guys are able to slip through. I could technically make Mercy do a roll, but really, Jace, the acrobatic check was more for humor than anything.
Hold on.
Oh,
Wait,
that's
I just
funny
want
as
to.
hell.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to do it because of how Mercy is.
Okay. I couldn't tell if that was a passive aggressive, that was funny as hell, or just.
No, it was absolutely
This is why
funny.
this was important.
I can't tell, Jason! It's so hard to tell when you're doing an accent!
What do you mean? This is meant to voice.
Shut up!
The 4 is the reason why I needed to roll.
Oh no.
Why can Mercy never do acrobatics?
She just can't.
Mercy can't do anything with acrobatics because, to be honest, she's not that dexterous.
So, Mercy, you do the wise thing. You decide to go last. And you realize very quickly that there's a problem. The plate mail's a bit tough to squeeze into a crawl space with, and you're having some trouble.
I can't get in, guys. The plate mail's too much.
Oh my god.
I have a thought. You're gonna hate it. Gil, do you have rope?
I do.
I'm gonna jump down and just walk across since we still have water walk on. And have Gale pull me up.
I could do that. Or, I have an interesting idea. If I throw my hammer across, you could climb over on the chain.
And then it would return to you.
Aye. Or you could just grab onto the hammer, jump down, and I could just pull really hard. And you'd either end up on the middle landing, or you'd end up here on the wall.
Which one do you think you could more successfully do without getting me hurt?
No idea. I haven't ever done this one before.
Okay, well, knowing my history with walking across things, I would fall. So it might be better if you pull me.
Can I be the voice of reasonably not great ideas?
Sure.
You could always jump across the hole.
Yes. Haru would go back through the tunnel to cast guidance on Mercy for whatever comes next.
And unfortunately, since you are in fox form, you can manage to do that without any real issues.
All right.
So, what's the plan, guys?
All right.
I kind of want to let Gale try to pull me over.
Okay.
So here we go. Gale's gonna throw his hammer
Okay.
cross to Mercy.
Okay. How much length? How long of a length of chain do you have again?
It's 30 feet.
It's 30 feet.
Well,
Well.
Is it 30 feet? Oh, never mind. I
Yeah.
thought it wasn't that long. Just kidding. I only got 30 feet. It's
Those
not
hammer
gonna make
slams
it.
into middle of walkway.
Oh.
Well, shite. Can you jump to there? And then I could try to pull you.
Sure, fuck it.
why is this so hard?
Okay.
Because Mercy cannot roll anything based in fucking movement.
Or, hold on, I have an idea.
Huh?
I could use my glaive to boost myself and jump over the water and end up in the middle.
I feel like we're overcomplicating things.
And then I could throw the hammer to you.
I have to mention
And
though,
then you could grab onto the hammer and I could yank it back and drag you to the middle.
And then you both are stuck on the middle.
Erin's
With
like,
no
I have
strong
to mention
person
door.
to
And then
drag
she
you to a
goes,
balcony.
she's like, I have to mention door. No, I'm not going to waste spells on that.
Okay,
No offense, Mercy.
How about I just try going through the bottom again?
Just
Yeah, go ahead. You can make another acrobatics check.
I have guidance, right?
Yeah.
You can cast that guidance
What-
on her, yeah.
What does
It's a
that
D4.
do?
It's a D4 added to it.
Roll a D4. You, with a lot of scraping and screeching, do manage to make your way through the crawl space.
With a tiny fox pushing you.
Mercy's gonna look at her poor
Can I
armor.
say,
Good.
that was delightful.
Connor, this is what
Yes?
happens again when you leave Mercy and Gale alone.
they're not
We
even
come up with the
alone. We're
best
just watching
ideas.
it happen.
So, you guys make your way through the door at the other balcony, and you find yourself inside of the room with the water that is inside of a stone ring.
Do you think we could move it?
Oh god.
We
Highly
tried that already, I feel like.
I have an idea how we could do that. We should check out the statue first, though. Make sure that this guy isn't hiding in the statue, because if he's not hiding in the statue, the only other place that he could be is in the well.
You could,
Okay.
if that was the case, you could throw the statue into the well and see what happens.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like this idea. Let's do
my
that. Okay, here we go. And Gail's just gonna start walking over to the statue room.
Buzzy's
Okay.
looking
He was
on
not being
immediately.
serious,
I-
by the
all
way,
right.
but
It's happening now.
Let's do this, baby.
yes.
Do it.
So, you guys head over to the statue room. Gale,
Aye.
are you guys going to investigate the statue first, or Gale, are you just gonna try and fucking?
No, we're gonna investigate it first.
Okay.
I want to see if
Okay.
this guy's hiding in the statue. I have a theory.
I'm going
want
to
it.
help. I'm going to help.
You guys can. Let's have the two best at doing investigation checks do the investigation checks.
Yeah.
We'll just say that
Guidance, one of
everybody is
you.
also looking around.
All right, I will do an investigation check.
Hey, Connor. Weird
Yes.
question. These
Yes.
are pews that are around this, right?
These are pews.
Are there like little slots to put books in the back of it?
No, there are no scripture slots.
You think these frogs can read?
That's fake. This is definitely not a church, because those always have them. Gail's gonna specifically spend all of his time looking at the eyes of this statue. Like staring
Staring
at it. He's waiting
contest.
for it to blink.
You're
Are you
like
having a
Cameron
staring
Ferris Bueller's Day Off in the picture.
Very interesting. Okay, cool. So, I gotta reward Jace for that one though, because that's actually very smart. So, you guys begin inspecting the statue as best you can, looking it over, trying to find anything odd about it. Gale, you in particular, focusing on the eyes, focusing very hard on them, and you note they're not just stone; they're pearls.
We
Pretty
can make
decent sized
a fortune.
pearls.
Should we hide them?
And considering how many eyes this thing has, you're willing to bet you could get a very large amount of them. Some of which are actually quite reasonably quite large. About one would be the two main eyes on the front of the face would be about fist sized. Now, with you guys also giving this thing a thorough look over, you'd also note that there is something on the underside of the statue as well. There is a mouth. There is a four-edged mouth on the underside of this creature, with long teeth that reach inward, and peering between the lips, air quote, of this mouth, you see another much larger eye.
Hey, you know how Gale threw that walnut at me?
Yeah?
Can I throw it at the eye inside the mouth?
Yes. The eye does not move.
Okay.
Can I use detect magic?
You certainly can't. The statue is not magical. Good thought. You're fine. But what you all notice with the remarkable perception checks, namely, I'll say our two main investigators, Dea and Erudite, and Gale, because you are so intently focused on the eyes of this creature, you guys notice that there are other marks on it, almost like people have touched it. Like something with claws had touched it and scratched it. And as one of you turns to look to the other and say, hey, something's touched this, you notice there's something weird about the room. Your eyes look over your teammates, and then you suddenly realize something's a bit off. And you count the walls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a fifth wall that wasn't there. And with it, a hallway that leads to a door.
None even
I think
left.
the
found
room
it.
blinked.
Okay, I
Gail's
know
just gonna keep staring, but Gail's gonna point to where this new wall is.
I know I'm not smart, but that's not normal, right?
Nope. And that's where we're gonna go.
And I will say, anyone who is not actively touching the statue, so Ro, because you're laying down in a pew, you don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Just
They're
Gale
pointing
is
to they're pointing over in a direction, and you're like, what do you mean? There's no wall.
To be fair, I can only see one wall by now.
I mean, that's also fair.
Hey, Gale,
What?
what do you think happen if we pried out one of the eyes?
I have no idea, but it's not blinking. The room blinked, and there's another wall. We have another place to go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. You guys all see that?
That's odd.
I don't know if it's the statue that's drugging you guys, but I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I'm gonna
I'm
medicine check Gale, like check if his pupils are dilated, that kind of
We're-
stuff.
I'm gonna be. We're gonna take this next couple of minutes from the perspective of Ro and Haru, because this is gonna be fun.
It's just like, bro, no, come here, come stand where I stand. Like, look.
Listen, I was always told not to give in to peer pressure. So
Like holding up
Well,
a
we
finger,
usually-
seeing if Gale's eyes track it.
He doesn't seem drugged. He does not seem drugged at all.
Usually the one doing the peer pressure.
exactly. I don't give in to it, I give it.
Bro.
So what are the plus sides of me touching this weird crab statue?
Roll, there are massive pearls that are this thing's eyes that you can pluck out of its head and take them.
Yeah, but there's a big chance that harm will come to me if I steal if I steal the eyes from this crab sea monster statue in a crab sea monster church.
2 of these are pearls as big as my fist.
Would I know how much those were worth?
Quite a bit. Quite a large amount. I will also point out one thing. Pardon me, I apologize. The pearl for the eye on the bottom, in the mouth, is easily the biggest.
Hey, question.
That one is about the size of a toddler's head.
Alright, Ro's gonna go try and pry the fucking pearl out of the mouth.
Yeah!
No, wait. Didn't you already do this once with a mimic and a cage?
Yeah, and I'm fine. Now get out of my way. This is the only way I'm touching the statue is if I get a giant toddler head pearl out of it.
Alright.
Alright. So you want to yank that fucker out of there?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, do you want to just, like, try and do it by hand, or do you want to try and use your Tinker's tools to, like, pry it out?
Probably the smart option, Tinker's Tools.
Okay. So
I'm
I'll let
not
you.
strong.
I'll let you make a dexterity check with your Tinker's Tool proficiency
Okay, so
to
wait,
try and
what,
like
what am I
Tinker's tool.
clicking?
do Tinker's Tools and then use dexterity
Okay.
because you're like trying to like pry it out instead of just like
You rolled a 2.
I hate it here.
you rolled a 2.
I'm gonna throw myself into the portal.
Which
No,
one?
don't do that.
A 1 and you could have re-rolled.
I know!
Ro rolled a 2, but still got a 13.
Yeah.
Fucking talented, homie. I got
skills.
skills.
So
They're most-
you find that you are able to start prying the pearl out of there. But as you keep doing it, you keep jabbing your hand into the actual mouth itself, which has these very sharp, like, stone teeth inside of it. And you're just trying to pull it out. And you come to the conclusion there's one or two ways you're going to do it. You're either going to damage the pearl a bit, or you're going to break the statue's lips, basically.
And is this supposed to deter me?
I'm just saying.
I mean, okay, alright. So is this an option I have? Either hurt the pearl or hurt the statue?
Yeah, basically.
Fuck the statue, give me the pearl.
There it is.
There it is. And you decide, fuck it. Who cares about some goddamn statue?
Me.
And you just take your Tinker's Tools, you break the lips off of this thing, and they crumble to the ground. And now you have yourself a nice pearl about the size of a fucking toddler's head.
Hell yeah.
I'll tell you right now, you can get a lot of money for that thing.
Oh, nothing's happened yet?
Do you want to make a perception check?
Yeah, that's what I was asking about.
Sure.
Because, 19.
The material crawling up the walls looks like it's gone up a couple more inches.
But nothing happened with the statue?
No. For reference, it's now crawled up about a foot.
Can
Can I see the wall?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah, you now see, oh, there's a fifth wall. Where did that come from?
Well, the casual fifth wall that every room has. Yeah. Fucking hate it here.
You just got a pearl the size of your own head.
You calling me a toddler?
Yes! You're 3 feet tall!
Okay, tough talk for a bitch.
Where is this?
Damn. God
Where
damn.
is this additional wall you're speaking of?
Maybe you should just sit on someone's shoulders while we do through this. Since
Piggyback ride.
you can't really see. And I feel like it's kind of hinging on sight.
What if you
Okay.
can't? What if when you can't see the wall, you can't go through it?
I guess we'll
Well,
find
we're
out.
about to find out.
Big brain.
It is a valid argument. We'll see.
That's a valid concern. But
If Haru just gets like knocked on his ass when we walk through that door, we'll know what happened.
well, no.
Invisible wall just stops.
So do you want to try that?
I mean, sure.
Okay.
Yes.
So you just kind of pick up the small fox that is Haru, and you just plop him onto someone's shoulders.
Probably Gale.
It's up to you, really. You guys all begin walking towards the wall. Now, from Haru's perspective, they're all just kind of walking towards open space, where like one of the corners is,
Face.
and there's no wall. It's just that's where the corner is. And they just keep walking and walking, and at the very front of the group, you eventually see one of them walk into the wall and disappear. And you see the rest of them start walking into the wall and disappear, and then you realize, oh, there's something here. And then you're on Gale's shoulders, and he walks into the wall, and you feel yourself get pushed up against the wall, and you just slide down.
Oh no. We've left it behind.
Or
We gotta get
Gale's
him.
gonna turn around.
From
and
all
grab-
of your perspective, you guys get a couple of feet like leading up to the door, and then you just watch Haru just hit something invisible and then slide down cartoon style.
I'm not
Okay.
saying that was funny,
Interesting.
but it was a little funny to watch.
Okay, so we all looked at the statue and investigated it.
We touched it.
Okay, so maybe you should touch it. Here, I'll go with him. So
Alright,
Gale's
then.
gonna walk with Haru over to the statue.
Yeah, the 7 foot tall man is, 7 foot tall Fearbolg is walking next to a fox, a small tiny fox.
This is normal for me.
Yeah. Haru, you can touch the statue, or Gale, you can press Haru against the statue. Either way.
Haru would probably touch it.
Picks up Haru
Not
and just
the other
presses
way.
Presses him up against
Just
the
wipes
stand.
him against the statue.
Gale is not the most gentle person at times, and this thing has a lot of very pointy appendages.
It's true.
It's like when you go to a hotel room and you press your key to the door.
Fuck, it's not working. Press it harder.
It's like when you grab a cat and like push the cat at somebody who wants to pet the cat.
And the cat's kind of like.
I don't want this.
It starts like arching back, its head and eyes are bulging, like, no!
No. You're handing the cat to the 3-year-old, and the cat's like, "No, I know better."
When he ran into the wall, was there any magic there?
No more than any other room. As I said, these rooms are magical to a point, so there was no more magic than any other one of these rooms.
And as we all know, walls do have their own magic.
What?
You know, it's actually a shame because at 15th level, I get true sight, and I wonder how different things would be.
So yes, Haru, now that you have touched the wall, moving back over to where the others are, you see there's a hallway. That wasn't there before. Do you guys want to walk into the door?
Yeah.
I.
Okay. So, this one's actually not on the map, but I can describe it to you pretty well. Walking into this room, you see that it looks, to the best of your description, half finished. The floor itself is just a regular old, almost like a concrete, a very smooth gray stone. And then near the middle of it, there's a plinth like this stone, almost like a basin that is shaped just like any of the other rooms. This kind of general shape of one of these rooms, where it's vaguely square shaped. And you see that it looks like it's in progress of being made. Each of these bricks are beginning to be laid one after another, and it's beginning to be assembled. But the most interesting thing is that that's only about half of the room. The other half is composed of this odd, almost like this thick, crumbling, kind of faintly shining black powdery material. It reminds you a lot of like charcoal dust, but it kind of holds its form better, like wet sand, and it can kind of be molded slightly. It's very odd. You're not entirely sure what it is, but there's a lot of it. You don't see anybody in this room, and there's only one door in and out, so it looks like it's a one-way room, but still, you have found an unfinished room.
How many doors are there?
Only
the one.
Only one.
Okay. One other than the one we went in.
No, there's only the one you went through. That's it.
Okay.
There's one door.
Are there any windows?
I have a feeling you're fucking with me now, Jace.
No, but in maybe the way I'm phrasing it, yes. But no, honestly, I want to know.
No, there are no windows or doors. The most striking thing is that the floor itself, past the concrete or like the smooth stone, is actually just black. Flat black. No light, no nothing. But you guys can still see perfectly. There are no torches, there are no lanterns, there's nothing. But seemingly, this floor is still holding its shape. And is still supporting objects, as that's what all this powder is laying on.
Can I scoop up the powder, I guess?
Absolutely.
I grab a fistful of mud.
It's not mud. It's just a powder.
Is it like the powder in Rose gun?
Like gunpowder?
Aye.
No, it's not. It is not gunpowder, but
Is it like sand?
it's like wet sand. That's the best way of describing it. I will point out, for anybody who has some form of detect magic up, either with the goggles, so the glasses, or a spell, this powder is all magical in a sort. It looks like it's heavily transmutation, and then the rest of it is just vaguely untyped. It's just magic and a little bit of transmutation to it.
If you
Question.
added water to the powder, would it be similar to the liquid that is around rooms?
You don't know.
I mean, we could test that very easily.
You were saying, Michelle?
I was gonna ask, is this the only place we've seen this sort of sand, like,
Yeah.
on this
Yeah,
entire island?
Yeah, this is the first time you've seen this.
Okay.
Can I mold it? Is it moldable?
Yeah. You can mold it into any kind of shape. What were you trying to mold it into?
She'll make it into a little mouse.
A little mouse?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you just roll me a... No, you're a spellcaster, actually. Yeah, roll me a charisma check.
Just a straight charisma?
Straight charisma.
Oh.
Okay. When you are molding it, are you thinking of the form of a mouse or of a mouse?
I guess we'll think of Timo, because that's the only mouse she likes.
Well, you begin molding it into the shape of Timo, and as you're like pressing your hands into it to make it look like a mouse, you're suddenly holding in your hands a live mouse that looks just like Timo.
Erudite sees this. She, as soon as Erudite sees this, she literally starts just ritually casting Identify.
Okay.
Like, oh, we need to see what this is.
I made a mouse! I made a rat! It's a rat!
Hey, be nice to it. We don't know if it's alive or not.
It's like Timo!
It's just kind of wandering around looking a little bit confused. It seems fine.
Is it a living mouse, or is it still
It is alive.
made of the stuff?
Nope.
She
It,
takes
once
a little-
she had pressed her hands around it to be molding it, eventually she uncovered her hands, and it looks like a small furry mouse.
Whoa, don't you dare.
Kind of darker gray fur than Timo, but still, it's a living mouse.
She takes up a little bit of jerky that she keeps on her, and she crouches down and like offers it at the rat.
Okay. The Timo 2 starts to chew on the jerky quite happily.
I don't like it here. It's weird.
So if you created a person out of this stuff,
I was thinking about that, and I'm afraid.
You may be afraid, but I'm not.
well, didn't I just say not to?
Huh?
I don't trust you to make something, Ro.
Ro is
Just a
maintaining
huge penis.
Ro is maintaining eye contact as she reaches down and grabs a handful of the stuff.
Okay.
She's just gonna, like, because the conversation about making a person, she's just gonna start, like, doing the thing, but thinking of, like, a tiny guy, like a dude, like a person.
A small person?
Like a person. I can't make a full-size fucking person. I'm not gonna make a dude. Like,
Gonna make a little.
Not with that attitude, you can't.
give me enough time. We ain't got time today. But Rose's just gonna make a little, like,
A small humanoid.
yeah.
Okay.
It's so wrong.
So you start molding the shape of like a small humanoid, and it looks exactly like you mold it. You begin pressing it and forming it until you have actually. You're still technically a spellcaster. You can roll me a charisma check.
Oh, I'm good at charisma. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, no. Alright.
There's no one here who's not considered a spellcaster, Connor.
It's true.
Yeah, well, look, I don't need your fucking sass. You eventually finish, and it doesn't come out perfectly. You try to get it to look like a humanoid, but instead it's a bit more more figurine-like almost. Like I suppose the best description is like if you take all the clothes off of one of those like Hatsune Miku dolls or something like that, where it has the kind of the jointed look to it.
You do not
Miku.
It's like that.
sacred.
I made a Miku.
And you see that the color of its skin doesn't really change all that much. It's still that kind of slate grayish color to it. And it begins to kind of animate and move around, but it doesn't talk. It's lacking noticeable features and details, but it looks like a moving figurine.
Friend.
Haru also wants to test something.
Yes.
Everyone, get a new pet. Come on.
Oh my god.
He wants to see if it's only living creatures, or if it's objects and or just organic material as well. So he is going to do is pick something in the shape of a heart, like
Like a
An
heart.
animate-
creatures.
An
The creature's
anatomically
heart.
correct heart?
Yes.
Okay. So, to get this accurate, I'm going to have you make a medicine check.
All right.
Okay, you feel like you got a pretty good description of just a human heart. Now, as you finish making it, I'll have you make a spellcasting check, which in your case I'm pretty sure is charisma,
Yeah.
because every spellcast from this party uses charisma,
Or like
Except for me.
except for you. And as you finish molding it, you now hold in your hands a scarlet red heart, and you watch as it goes.
that.
This might be part of how all of these strange creatures and parasites are being made.
And eventually you watch as it stops pumping in your hands.
You could conceivably replace any organ in a creature with something made of this. And
Would I have finished my identify by now?
Yes. So, the name of this material is Sand of Creation. It is a magic item that is transmutation based. The way it works is when you are trying to you can take some of it, try to make it into something according to how dense it is. It will take more according to that. So if you try to make something adamantine, it's going to take a shit ton of it. And you mold it into it, and while you are thinking of it, you then can form it into whatever you are thinking of. Now, there are a few rules to how it works. Namely, if you are not able to cast magic in some way, you cannot create something that is alive, per se. So, no matter how hard you try, if you give a berserker this, they'll never be able to create life. And a spellcaster, well, they will be able to make something that is alive and will resemble life. They won't have a soul, per se. You don't create a soul by doing this. You're just creating a living body that's following, well, what you expect it to do, more or less. So if you tried to make a humanoid, and you made a very impressive check, you could make a person who would talk and walk and act like a person, but they wouldn't have a soul, and they would find themselves to be a little bit... No, not entirely. They'd be a little bit bland. They'd be a bit like a program. Like a robot.
So like an android.
Essentially.
Have we noticed anything like that here in general?
No.
What is this even doing here?
It's obviously something whoever made this wants to protect.
Do we have any containers that can close?
I believe you guys have some, but that's, You want to make a small puppy? Oh, no!
No, that's wrong. You guys making...
Send me a picture of what kind of the puppy you want it to look like.
Oh my god,
That way, if I have to make it into abomination, I'll have to describe it.
Living things with no soul is just sad.
It will behave like it's lobotomized.
So, Gale also wants to do this.
Okay.
Gale's just going to take a small handful.
Okay.
And Gale's going to kind of just move it around in his hands a bit. And Gale's going to think of the powder, the gunpowder.
The gunpowder?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty easy. Paladin spellcasting check is charisma.
Charisma, yeah.
So
Again.
you can roll me charisma check.
Everybody else in this party is a charisma
15.
caster except for me.
15. So you just kind of start... You don't even, like, mold anything because you know you don't have to. You just kind of shake it around in your hands a little bit, and you watch as the powder loses its luster. And it stops having that shine that the powder initially had. Because it all had this kind of black shine to it that, like, say, rough ground charcoal powder has. But as you move it around, it becomes grayer and more plain, and suddenly you are reasonably sure you're looking at gunpowder.
Alright. Roll.
Mm-hmm.
Gale's going to take, like, just almost like the center of his palm. Can you try lighting that like you do your powder?
Oh god.
Gale
no.
Gale's
Well?
the same brainwave I am, because that's why I wanted to test the puppy.
Now. Oh boy.
Light it on fire. Light it on fire.
Don't light the puppy on fire.
No, the gunpowder.
Oh, okay. Now,
It's like
While
a
they
dime
are-
size amount.
yeah. Now, while they're preparing to light the gunpowder on fire, Mercy, you're creating a puppy, a little husky puppy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey guys, I have no luck left, and I don't have the coin either.
It's gonna
Yeah.
So, I'll have you make me a charisma check as you begin to make it.
Oh, 21, thank God.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. I was sitting here like, am I going to have to describe an abomination of a puppy? I don't want to do this.
Look, Mercy's held a lot of puppies in her life. She knows what they look like.
So, you begin shaping the form of a puppy, like a few months old. It looks like maybe 1 month to 2 months.
Old enough to be away from its mother.
Old enough to be away from its mother. And you begin making the form of a little husky puppy. You get the short legs done properly, you get the coat done properly, you did everything looking just like it's supposed to, and by the time you're finished, it will kind of like crawl up off of its side and kind of start ambling around a little bit and running around the room. The one thing that is a little bit different than you would have anticipated is that its coat is a very nice kind of smooth gray-black, with the exception of a few spots where it has the nice white.
See, the problem is, Connor, you said whatever you make doesn't have a soul. Depending on what mythology you ask, animals don't have souls. Yeah.
Hey, and here's the thing, you guys also don't know in game whether or not animals have souls.
Yeah.
There's
I
the
have-
other thing that I wanted to try now.
Wait.
One thing.
Gunpowder.
Yes, Michelle?
Yes, I have a little bag of sand in my items. Can I
Okay.
dump the sand out that's in there, like the regular sand, and replace it with the sand that's here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Turn
you
it
can
into-
you can just like dump the sand off to the side and then fill up the pouch. And basically it's not even like, it's like maybe half a pound. The pouch is
Yeah.
supposed to be small and for like, I think, writing, I believe, because you use it to set the ink.
Probably.
Um,
I mean, it's probably mostly empty anyway at this point.
But it's from your scholars pack.
Yeah.
So yes, you can certainly do that. Now, Ro,
Yeah.
you want to light it up?
Yeah, but also I wanted to say I put in chat that I wanted to take some of this stuff too. But I don't know
so,
if anyone saw it, but I typed
Oh
it.
no, sorry, I see that. So, oh gosh, containers. I know you guys have containers. I just don't remember which ones you have.
Ro has
That's the
that
big-
fanny pack, but it's full of gunpowder.
We have the
Yes.
juice bottle, I think. I don't think
Oh.
we put anything in there.
We do still have the genie bottle. This is correct.
Right. You
I will always
You
bring
do
up
still
the
have what is basically a reskinned version of the iron flask, so you can definitely fill the flask full of the sand of
Never
creation.
forget, Connor.
That's good. Hey, Ro will have plenty to research if we use that, fill that shit up.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure that it got set, and then I got some.
If not, I would have given you the one I had.
I want to
If you,
take some.
I feel responsible for this rat now.
So,
Yeah.
Haunting mother.
And- hold on a second. So the bottle that you fill up is, like I said, it's a decent size, kind of like the stereotypical potion flasks. They have like the big bulbous bottom and then the long neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those, and it's about, I'd say, like a foot high. So you fill up a pretty decent amount of it. But that said, it does feel like such a shame to leave so much behind, because there's still quite a bit in this room.
Well, Connor,
Well, I wanted
big-
to try something else. Test
Okay.
its properties.
Okay.
Wanted to see if it's possible to replicate magic through it by attempting to make a bag of holding out of it.
oh holy shit.
Interesting. So, I will have you please make me a charisma check.
Alright.
So, making the general form of a bag of holding, and you have one to reference, because these guys here do have bags of holding. Well, a bag of holding, I should say. So you get the general look, right? And you have the general appearance, right? And you finish it up, and then you open up the bag to see if it has that bottomless void to it, and you note it does not.
Yeah.
It is lacking the bottomless look that a bag of holding has. It looks like a bag of holding.
So it doesn't
visually-
replicate magic.
No, it is visually a perfect replica of a bag of holding minus the magic.
You
Now
still
we
have
also-
a bag that can hold stuff.
Yeah, bear in mind, you guys should be adding these to your inventory.
I will add one rat to my inventory.
One rat
I
to
will
it.
add
Rat in a pocket.
Teemo Part 2.
Tumo.
Team 2.
Yes, Jess?
I have a dumb idea, but I'm gonna think on it for a second.
Okay.
Go ahead and go to
So-
the others.
So, Ro, you go over and light the gunpowder on fire. And you watch as it very swiftly catches fire, sparks, and does exactly what you'd expect from gunpowder, leaving a small burnt hole on Gale's hand, Gale, you're gonna take 4 points of fire damage.
Okay.
It's real.
All right. It works. Do you want the rest of this? He goes to hold out his hand, like a handful of it.
Bro's gonna open up the fanny pack. Go ahead, put it in there.
Dump it all in.
Adding to my collection.
There you go.
So
How much of the stuff does the regular bag hold?
well, the regular bag is basically, it's supposed to be modeled after like a regular old small backpack, right? So, oh fuck, I have to come up with cubic measurements now. Great.
We have a bag full of sand. Bag of sand.
Well,
You can
we'll say
come
you
up
have you have a small backpack full of sand, of the sand of creation.
But because he is not very strong, he is going to give it to Gale to carry.
Jace just went out for a second. I think they gotta use the bathroom. Hey Connor.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes?
gonna pull out my book
Okay.
of cat summoning,
Okay.
and I want to summon Jim.
Okay.
And I know this is weird because it's kind of a pocket dimension, but unlike Minerva's mansion, this doesn't seem to have certain things to it beyond touching the statue. But if I'm bringing him in, it's...
By all means, I don't think this area... No, yeah, I'm trying to think of any way I could justify that when this place was made, it would have been made with some kind of like a safeguard like that to prevent someone from being teleported in. I genuinely can't come up with one. So I think you open the book and you try to summon Jim and he appears.
This was two things. One, it was an experiment to see if teleportation would work in this room. I was going to do it with the dog, but then I thought about Jim. And two, hi Jim.
What? Where am I? What is this?
Magic sand?
What about? Where is this?
Don't worry about that.
Oh, this is... What is this?
I heard a child.
If you hear a child, that might be on my end, unless it's in the background of someone else's.
Probably.
Also, Jill.
Yeah.
The fanny pack of holding. Sorry, the Pathfinder pouch, I should say.
No, you said it. You said it. The fanny pack of holding.
Did you dump out the gunpowder in there and just
No, I added.
fill it? You added?
I added the gunpowder. I'm not getting rid of my gunpowder. I need my gunpowder.
Oh, okay.
To be
Yeah.
fair, it's a slightly different color.
So your Pathfinder pouch is a mixture of gunpowder and this magical dust, and you'll just have to find out which is which.
No, the magical dust is in the flask.
I put it in the-
you
yeah.
you did put it in the flask.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
I took the gunpowder that Gale made and
Yeah.
put it in the fanny pack
Oh, okay, you're good then.
to add to my collection.
Okay, because I was like, did you just take the Pathfinder pouch and just like drag it through the sand, and now it's a mixture of gunpowder and this magical sand? Oh God!
Absolutely not. But to be fair, if I did do that, whenever I had to use gunpowder, I would just have to hold it in my hand for a second and be like, I want to make sure this is gunpowder.
I hope this is okay. Good. So yeah, you summon Jim in here, and he seems a bit confused.
This, honestly, Jim, I'm using you as an experiment to see if teleportation worked in here, just in case we need to go out or in.
Uh-huh.
But also, it's magic sand if you want to, like, fuck with it.
I don't know that.
It's magic sand.
I made
do you
a guy.
I
Shouldn't
made
have
the
this power.
Look at the husky puppy. I made that.
You made animate life.
I made a rat too.
I made a
Oh.
tiny guy. He's just a little bit wrong.
It would best be described as a facsimile of life.
To be fair, I think Rudy did say it can't have a soul, but semantics.
It can't have a soul. Interesting. Okay. How did it work?
I remolded it and then tried really hard, and if it was something living, I think, Rudy, you said it's connected to our magic, right?
Yeah, it's you can do it if you create magic. Also, while Rudy is doing this, she is like picking up a piece and trying to like mold it into like a platinum piece.
Oh, yes.
Let's do a bar
I'm like,
platinum or
money.
something.
Eric needs money.
So I'll let you make an intelligence check. Everyday.
Oh.
Nope.
And that was.
All the charisma casters are fine. Erudite can't. Erudite is too distracted by the thought of money.
You begin molding this little ball of sand, this sand, into what you're imagining to be a little bit of platinum, and you realize quickly that what was initially just like an inch large ball of sand begins to become smaller and smaller and smaller until eventually you're holding what is like almost more like a nugget of platinum, and it's nice, bright and shiny, and it looks just like platinum. And you kind of hold it in your hand, you roll around a little bit, and then you watch as this little slit on the side of it opens up, and it bites down on your thumb.
I made a mimic. Interesting. I squash it.
Oh God!
I don't want. I want money.
Look at you!
I don't like that. No, it bit me, and she like hits it like a bug.
Oh.
I'm sorry, guys.
So you squish it on the ground, and it returns to powder.
I'm really glad out of
She's gonna try again. While this is all going on, she's gonna keep trying.
But yeah, Jim?
Yes. So Jim will kind of move his way over towards the powder. And let me just find his sheet again, because I gotta find his sheet again. Jim, where's your sheet? Jim, where's your sheet? Jim, what the fuck you at, bitch? Jim.
You can't make magic just life, I guess.
Yeah, because Harry just tried to make a bag of holding and it didn't work.
Aw.
Which sucks, because that was the only other idea
poor little
I have
platinum
about
mimic.
magic is
However,
it's a deeply magical item.
This could be useful because I have several spells that require powdered diamond.
You can certainly do that.
That is.
I won't
We
say
Very
can we
easy.
can make more diamonds so that if anyone dies, we can diamond them back to life. I saw it happen.
I'm just trying to really quickly find Jim's sheet. Unfortunately, things are going a bit slow.
I like the idea that the rest of the session is just us going, well, we could make this. Okay, we're gonna need this
Well, we
later.
could say we could deal with this weird guy, but I mean at the same time.
Why would we do that when we could do this?
Exactly.
Well-
Universe sandbox. What do you...
There we go.
I
wait.
tested the two things I wanted to see. Something that is an incomplete thing of something
Fuck!
organic.
Jesus, Jim.
I really
Something that
want
is
something.
magical.
Well, he was actually initially doing a simple test, and he starts molding what looks like a hand, and eventually, he finishes it, and there is a kind of a dark tan-colored hand that's been molded out of the sand, and it just kind of sits there and twitches slightly and flexes, and as you see, it just kind of keeps repeating the flexing motion over and over and over again. And Jim kind of like bats at it a bit and looks at it, and then he does eventually actually claw it to see if it'll bleed. And it does release a small amount of fluid.
Ew.
Interesting.
It was much the same with the heart that I created.
That's fine.
But
How
yeah,
did the
you-
heart come out?
It beat for a short period of time, but then without any flow of blood, it
Did it have any
ceased.
flaws?
I can't say that it was perfect, but it seems like it would be sufficient.
Weakness in
The
the walls,
transplant.
valve problems, anything like that.
We could pull it out a medical check.
You could basically cut it open. And looking at it, you'd see that it certainly does have a weakened wall at certain points, and you feel like if it was inside of somebody, they would probably eventually start bleeding. So,
It works as a temporary thing. But
all right.
I could see that if someone was
how-
particularly skilled, they might be able to create something a bit more stable.
How much of this do you think you guys can collect?
Are you trying to build another body?
Yes.
Well,
Conceivably, you could make containers out of it.
to be
That's
fair,
not the same. I want to save as much of this as possible.
No,
I
Jim.
don't know if I can reuse it.
Jim. If I send you back, you can bring us a container for you to take.
Does Ever have any little bags of folding you can steal?
Maybe.
Do you want me to give you like 5 minutes back on the other side?
Yes.
Alright, see you in 5. And then we'll close the book.
Okay. Jim will disappear. Now, I will point out, every day,
Yes.
when you squished the platinum mimic,
Yeah.
the poor little rowdy boy,
Yeah.
it returned to the powder.
Right. So if you destroy it, it turns right back into the powder.
But to be
No.
fair, you also didn't do a very good job.
I think. I mean, you try and destroy the heart and see what happens.
You know, if he brought back a portable hole, you could probably get most of the sand in it.
Okay, well.
Gail, you were trying to say something
my
a minute
question is,
ago.
while we're dealing with this, okay, it seems we found all the rooms here, and yet we still haven't found the person we're looking for.
That begs the question, are there any other things similar to the statue in other rooms?
He might not be in the ruins. He might be somewhere else.
Where would he be? You saw him walking.
Could be somewhere else on the island.
Or, you know, he could have gone into the water portal.
I guess he could have.
Unfortunately, I do not have locate person.
I only have locate object and I don't have it prepared.
I have Eldritch Blast.
But, you know. The portal's the only place he could have gone.
Could attempt to scry on him.
I'll allow one of you to make an intelligence check.
I will do it.
Okay.
Natural one.
Let's hopefully it's not a
one.
natural one again.
Natural one.
It's a 14.
If putting your hand on the statue resulted in another wall appearing, what's to say that there isn't something else here that might also do the same thing in another room?
Time
That's
to go
exactly
touch
what I
the
said before.
So
I'm just
maybe,
reinforcing it.
Yep.
maybe we should go touch the water.
Anyone else want to keep experimenting in here?
Well, we have to wait here for Jim to return, but
Yeah.
apart from that, it's possible there might be something in each of the rooms.
I know magic items don't work, but Daya's gonna try anyway. To make, basically, she's going to make a hand mirror and she's going to try it with the intent that it would look into the wherever the afterlife goes.
Creepy. Okay.
Yeah.
Charisma check.
There's a 23.
Why are we rolling so well?
No, but I
You
like
are
it.
rolling
The good roll's
so
got to
well.
show up eventually.
You're rolling so well. I'm sorry. I rolled a nat 1.
It's like she doesn't probably won't work, but she's like, I gotta try.
You make a very lovely looking mirror,
Yeah.
but unfortunately it does not appear to be magical.
Okay. She kind of tucks that away. lovely hand mirror. Adding that to equipment. By now, the 5 minutes for Jim is probably up.
Yes. 1 second.
Fill timer.
I'm gonna do one thing.
Hold on 1 second. I have to kick a cat off this table.
Wow, I just realized my name got changed back. That's very rude.
What do you mean?
Oh yeah, I did that at the start of the session.
Good.
I was like, wait, you're not part yet.
Let me change my name to 2K20.
Change the fucking battery then.
Okay, I'm back.
No.
Shoosh, I need my chips.
Yeah, well.
I think it's gonna be beeping through 2021.
It's possible.
Already
It's been
been.
damn near 2 years.
Yeah.
So yes, Jim, if you open the book back up in 5 minutes, Jim will come back with a bag of holding, what appears to be.
Do you want help scooping it in?
Yes.
Alright. Just shovel it in, boys. I guess.
I mean, I'm helping. Look, Mercy's got to deal with Jim to help him help her out, so...
Can I make one more platinum piece?
Sure.
Well, that's going on how I would probably just try to make 100 gold worth of diamond dust that he could use greater restoration at some point.
Hey man, if we gotta use what we gotta use.
Hold on
We gotta do what we gotta do.
Let me just do this, because now I can tell you what I was doing. There we go.
What did Maddie
What did
make?
Maddie make?
Maddie begins taking a small amount of the sand and begins molding the shape of a small lamb.
Uh-huh.
And by the time she's done, she has a small bleeding lamb that has become animate.
Not surprised.
Question, is it like that dark color that the husky is?
Yes, dark colored wool.
Papa Black Sheep.
Have you no, sir. Anyways,
There you go.
but yes, I'm gonna help Jim scoop up as much of the powder.
Yeah, Dea will reluctantly help with that as well.
So, you would be able to get a very
Huh?
you would be able to get a very large amount of this sand into the bag of holding. Erudite, you rolled a 17 to make the platinum piece.
Yes.
Again, you would note that you have to take a good amount of it to make it condense down into this piece of platinum, but eventually you do have a small platinum piece. Or are you going to make it look like just a platinum
I want to make
piece
it look
from-
like a platinum coin. Like I want like a platinum coin.
I know, but I mean like from Odella.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you make it a small Odelan platinum piece. It looks...
Cool. I'm going to add one platinum to my.
Go ahead. I won't stop you.
Okay.
And yeah, Haru, you wanted to make diamonds?
Diamond dust, because of greater restoration, costs 100 gold.
How?
in diamond.
100 gold of diamond dust?
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to like take a very large handful and see what that makes.
So, do you want to roll a charisma check to do like the experiment to see how much diamond dust you need, how much of this regular dust you need to make diamond dust?
Sure.
Okay. So, using the the sand, you begin to mold and form it as best you can, taking a pretty decent-sized handful and like shaking it the same way that Gale was doing with the gunpowder. And you keep shaking and shaking and shaking. You keep feeling it go away and go away and go away until eventually you pull out your hand and you've got this tiny, tiny, tiny little pile of diamond dust.
Yep.
It seems like it takes quite a bit to make something as precious as diamonds.
As I thought. Well, it is not viable for replacing material costs. Well, he's not going to keep trying then.
Yeah. So you guys managed to get a very large amount of the sand into the bag of holding to the point where you think you're getting close to filling it. It only leaves a small amount left behind inside the room itself that you guys can still play around with. But he basically fills up the entire bag. There's quite a bit in this room.
Well, if anyone wants to make anything else, we should probably wrap up here soon and check the other rooms for hidden passageways.
Yeah, no, I think I'm
One
good.
thing. Anything else?
I got everything I wanted out of this, so.
Only other thing that I can think to make is a very simple compass, and only the needle has to be like the magnetic metal and stuff.
Yeah.
He wants to see if, like, there's any sort of distortion with that here.
Okay, you can make a charisma check. You would be able to make a small, very simple metal compass, like out of pressed. It looks like pressed sheet metal with a small rod that the needle is sitting on, and you kind of sit there and look at it, and you just watch the needle spins, idly. It spins aimlessly with no direction of where it actually is going to.
Yes. Should keep this on us until we actually leave this place, where it will let us know if we are in some other dimension or in the material plane.
I already have a compass.
I will just say right now, to reassure everybody, they will not turn back to dust when you leave this area. Okay? So
I have literally been thinking about that since we walked into the room.
I had a feeling. I just wanted to say it because we have 2 people currently with living animals with them. Sorry, 3 counting Maddie. And I don't want anyone to be horrified when their dog goes, "I don't feel too good, Mr. Stark," and then turns to dust.
Do people take psychic damage or no?
Oh god.
Real quick check. Everyone sound off. Everyone happy, or anyone need to make anything else?
Yeah. Anybody have any other things they want to play with?
I did all of the testing and experimentation I needed to understand it.
Ro?
As long as I have enough that I can do research on it later, I'm peachy keen.
Definitely. Because you have a pretty good amount of it.
Yeah.
Jess, I'm assuming you're good too?
I have a puppy.
Okay.
So it looks
Gale?
like this room was being made out of this stuff.
Gale?
I'm good.
Okay. And if that's the case, yeah, you guys collect as much as humanly possible, more or less robbing this room of everything it's got, and then you skedaddle.
Oh, I'm gonna send Jim back as we leave. With his bag.
You do so. He carries the bag with him, and he will disappear.
Gosh, that would be a question. If you were a living creature and you didn't touch the statue, would you be able to leave the room through the doorway?
Probably, but
Only one way to find out. Lock Jim in there.
No. I'm not doing that to Jim. We're friends.
So, you guys leave through the main hall, out into the main room, and you find yourselves standing back in the statue, the small church, with only 4 walls around you.
That was gonna be my suggestion, yeah.
So, you guys have found yourselves out of the unfinished room. You now are back inside of the actual little church area, and you guys are planning on going over towards the lab, correct?
Yes.
Yes, but can I do one thing real quick?
No, but yes.
Okay. It'll be quick. Literally, I'm just gonna take out my dog book of summoning. I'm gonna summon Night, and I'm gonna try to get Night to, like, grab the scruff of the new puppy's neck so I can send him back.
Okay, roll animal handling.
It's not gonna go well, but I could try. Oh! 19!
19. So you eventually do manage to convince Knight into picking up the puppy in its mouth, which Knight seems a bit confused about, but he does it eventually. And then you close up the book and the dog disappears.
It's for safety.
I wonder what it tastes like.
It probably just tastes like a dog at this point.
Honestly, it probably tastes like wet sand. I can tell you, it doesn't taste great.
But those are not mutually exclusive if your dog has been to the beach.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I wanted to do to make sure I wasn't carrying around a puppy.
Gotcha. And I will say, for the sake of arguments, Maddie gets Knight to do the same thing, and the lamb goes back too. So
The rat's with me.
the rat.
The rat stays.
Tumo is always there.
Tumo's.
Oh god, it's so close to tumor!
He lives in you.
I mean, considering that if the roll was too bad, it would have looked like a tumor. It's fitting.
I'm not a baby, I'm a human.
It's Timo, but the T is a 2, so it's like
Tumo.
Tuimo.
Too emo.
Tumo.
It's Ali! It's Ali!
It's like We Too Low, but very depressing.
Chime in with a.
We're back in
It's
the room.
on brand for Dea, so
Yes, but the rat goes in your pocket. So yes, you guys are back inside of the laboratory.
I'm gonna start touching shit. Like I touched the brain jar again. I touched the like.
Can't we do it
I
smarter?
mean, I think it's... I'm going to see if there's anything magic in here.
We already checked that.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yes, most everything in this area is magic to a sort, but nothing is like standing out.
I was
think
going
it's
to go
a
into
tool, you
fox
guys.
form
I
and
think
sniff
it's-
around again.
Yes, you can, Jess.
There's a chair. Yeah, just gonna investigate. I think we're standing over a chair right now, or piece.
You are.
Hey, wait. The guidance from earlier. I didn't
You already
use...
used it.
Okay,
Last minute.
Yeah,
It lasts a minute. So
I
you-
can cast it basically at any time.
it's cool. I just didn't know how it
Don't
worked.
do it.
Yeah, we'll
If
make
there's
sure.
anything I hate, it's when people keep casting guidance on every skill check.
Never
will
do it for
also
social
investigate.
things.
Because like that's what Rudy would do. Is also gonna investigate.
So, Mercy, yeah, you guys can roll investigation.
I'll investigate the.
28.
You were saying, Becca?
I'm investigating the middle of the room, like around the chair and the desks.
Gotcha. Anybody else?
Searching everything.
Harry's sniffing around, and instead of which way people went, he's trying to sniff for where people frequent in this room.
Okay, that'll be a perception check, scent based. So I think you have advantage on that.
Yeah.
Ouch. Gale.
Not great.
Ro. Oh.
I got nothing. I'm good to go.
Don't want to steal a brain.
Absolutely
Perception checks
not.
have been steadily getting worse in this place.
All right. And Gale, I'm guessing you're good.
Gail already investigated the vomit. I think we're good.
That is absolutely fair.
Ew.
It happened in game.
Look, I know, but ew. So looking around, you guys would keep poking around the room and trying various things. Dea, you tried the chair and the desks themselves, looking around for any additional walls or odd things that appear. You don't find much doing that. Mercy and Erudite, you guys begin looking around the room itself and just kind of start looking around in general. Eventually, you guys would would note that there are some scratch marks on the walls, like something with talons had touched the wall and accidentally scraped it or scratched it. Yeah, and when one of you goes up and presses your hand against the wall, you see that a fifth wall appears.
Found it. We both say it at the same time too. Yeah.
Tieflings.
Team Tiefling. It's over here.
I guess we all go touch the wall again and
I figured.
I
proceed.
suppose.
Yeah. So you guys go up, you touch the wall, and you, you begin all seeing the fifth wall. And then what?
Fifth wall. Go on.
That sounds like the name of a band.
Oh, that's a
Fifth
good
wall.
episode title. The fifth wall.
The fifth wall. Hey!
Hey!
Damn it! We found a good title.
Hey!
Hey.
And then with that,
All in
I
all,
just
we're
went-
just another wall in the room.
I was just
Another wall in the wall.
I knew it was coming. I didn't know who
we
it was
don't
from.
need no education.
We don't need no extra walls.
So heading into the door on the
Oh,
extra
it's
wall, you find
It's a living
a
quarters.
small room, like somebody's quarters, with a nice large bed with a nice royal purple duvet on top of it. A very well woven rug made of. You're not sure what, something rug-like. You find that there's what looks to be a small barrel off to the side with a stool in front of it, and a fishing pole that's currently being held by a large fishman who is actually fishing into the barrel. You see there are a couple of plants that have been set aside that are being well kept, judging by the watering can that is nearby. Some bags of food, grain, feed, stuff like that, and a nice little stove and sink area for cooking.
I would like to investigate the room to see if there's
Well, there's a person in here.
It's like,
Oh, there's a
Yes.
person in here.
I just said there is a large fishman holding the fishing rod.
wow,
never mind.
Forward.
Michelle is dumb. Don't worry about it.
Out of
Michelle
my
is
way,
dumb.
I'm trying to find somebody.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. I'm trying to find people.
No. I'm so dumb. I did not. I for some reason I thought it was like a statue or something. I'm dumb. Leave me.
Nope,
Michelle, Aaron,
it's
smart.
Lagoon Boy. Daya's gonna take a few steps forward and be like, "Are you Dean?"
Yes, may I help you? I'm trying to catch my food right now.
I want to know what the fuck's going on here, and specifically your relationship to the temptation and where you got that book.
Ah, yes. My ship. It
Your-
was very nice to serve with them.
Your ship?
Well, my ship as in the ship I was serving on.
Yes.
It was nice. It was fun. It was also necessary. But, do you have any specific questions I can answer for you?
I'm assuming the captain you saw, you sailed with, his name was Alexander.
Yes. That's his name.
Did he, does he still look human? Or did he look human when you sailed with him?
As human as any other person can look.
Right. And where did he take you?
Now that's a tricky question. All over. And we ran into many different ships and many different people. But all over, I think, is the best answer.
And did you always look like this?
No.
He keeps fishing into the barrel.
I saw you read from a book. And you
Yes.
sacrificed that man.
Yes.
Where did you get that book?
I made it.
You made it.
I made it. Small bits of information we've learned over time. Well, I learned over time. What our Lord prefers as a meal to keep him sated.
And Alexander is also serving this lord.
I think the word he'd use is using them.
For power.
I'm simply paying my respects.
Do you know what he's using them for?
Power. That's my bet.
And you watch as the end of the fishing rod begins to tug, and he starts to kind of reel back and tug back as well, and eventually he pulls up a pretty decent-sized fish out of the barrel. And he takes it off the hook, and he begins to bring it back over towards his cooking area, washing it off in the sink, and then beginning to descale it and gut it.
Dare kind of glances back at her team, giving them an opening, or else she'll continue asking some questions. So how long have you been like this? Since
I came back.
you came back. So you were fine on the ship, and then you came back here and turned
Yes.
into this?
Yes.
And the rest of the townsfolk?
Well, they all partook in the same meal as I did.
Then where did this meal come from then?
Came from the Lord of the Sea.
They do not appear as particularly free-willed as you are.
They also don't seem
No.
very happy about it.
They're not. Well, I suppose it's a bit complicated. They want to be able to appease their lord, and I just want to make sure everybody would survive, be able to live to see another day.
Is it really living if you aren't yourself?
That's a tricky question. I certainly feel like myself. And some of them can feel like themselves too, but I don't really know. Are you going to attack me or something of the sort? Or are you just going to stand there? I don't have many chairs, so you may have to sit on the floor or something.
It may not. Well, I guess right now we have no reason to attack you.
That's good. I'd like to get my meal finished. But yes,
So
it all started shortly after they partook in the same meal I partook in. We needed food, and a piece of the Lord of the Sea worked very well.
you all ate a piece of the Lord of the Sea?
Just a tentacle. He certainly won't be missing one.
How did
There's plenty.
he gave that to you?
Not really.
Who took the tentacle?
Alexander, I believe. I don't know how exactly he did it, but I think he managed to speak to it. At least I think that's what he did.
Do you know where that was?
I do. I keep it written down in my book. It was the first day of my new life. So, yes, I kept track of it.
Is it possible for us to read this book of yours?
It certainly is, but I'd like to ask what you want to do with it. What do you plan on doing?
Well, right now I think I need to find Alexander and I need to find the source of this.
Well, that is simple. I'm sure that I can cajole him into coming nearby.
You still in contact with Alexander?
I can manage to do so. I serve faithfully, and even though my lord is an idiot, he still pays people back.
Quick question. You're like the third person to call him an idiot. Is he literally just fucking stupid, or does that mean something else?
That depends. And he'll kind of like put the half-gutted fish down and kind of turn towards you. And looking at him, you see that he is still humanoid, but he is this large, hulking mass of muscle. And what you first initially perceived as frog-like, you now realize it's almost more anglerfish-like. It's large, bulbous eyes, kind of a jutting mouth, a thick neck, and now this kind of light thing that is hanging off the top of his head. He looks like a fishman. Would you call a dog an idiot?
Yes, I've met some pretty dumb dogs.
Then that's the best way of describing it. There is no thought, only bestial instinct. We are just unlucky enough that he happens to be very strong. Or lucky enough, in my case.
So you're happy here.
I'm content. My people are alive.
And
We're
eating
able to
other
keep living.
things.
Do you have
Attacking
any
my
way
ship.
of safely curing
Some.
this for the
What?
people who are unwilling to be part of it?
Are you referring to the trade trip? The Ecclesta?
Partly.
Yes. They were tricked.
Why did you attack us?
No, I didn't attack you.
Why
The town
they?
did.
Why?
Because you had an entire ship full of people, and that would have made for a lovely meal for our lord. I'm sure you've noticed the ships that were crashed.
Yes, though that is the sort of behavior that would get the entire town killed if people came along that were more powerful than them.
It's possible. But we have to manage.
Do you know where this idiot lord is?
Yes,
Would
and
you...
I believe it may be coming here.
Mercy's gonna look at that as...
You don't say.
Yes, I do say.
Well, makes our job easier, I guess.
We heard from one of the townsfolk that the people who have been affected by this are incapable of bearing children, or at least ones that survive.
Yes.
Are you concerned about this potentially being an end of your village or its way of life?
No. With enough work, I'm sure I can find a way to counteract the lack of control and the infertility.
So...
I'm sure you noticed that I have a few experiments.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask about.
Is that
Yes.
the reason for all of them? Improving the way of life of the village people, or is there more behind it?
I simply wanted my people to be able to live. We had a nasty period of months, not much food, water wasn't that great. We had to make do. I went to either procure funds or food and make things better for my people. I had to make do. Thank you, bro. You gave me a good line.
And if such things no longer were a concern, would you feel any need to continue following this Lord of the Sea?
He kind of taps his large nails on the side of the stove.
I'm not sure. On one hand, I have no real connection, save for the obvious. No real feelings towards him. Simply respect. He helped me and my people. So I feel it is the simplest thing I can offer him is a bit more respect in return. And a meal. But if he was to not be a problem, then I don't know what that would mean for my people. If he went away, we might not be able to survive.
You could just leave this place.
I don't think it's that simple.
So, hypothetically, if the idiot lord fucking eats it, what happens to y'all?
I don't know for certain. I can only assume it wouldn't be anything good. Without being able to come to terms with what we had to do, the more moral people may be rash. Others may be driven to madness. All I know is that there's something that was in that bit of the tentacle that we ate that started making us who we are now. If that was to stop working or to go away, I don't know what would happen.
Yes. I've done a bit of studying myself. I believe that it is possible to restore people at least somewhat. The more advanced cases might require stronger magic.
Yes, I'm sure you're right. But with that said, what's the harm in a few dead people?
What's the harm? You care about your village. Everyone's from a village themselves.
But they're not mine. I'm sure if any of you become objective enough, you'd think the same way I do. You have to keep an eye out for your own.
To be fair, for my own, I would like to kill with my own hand, so I'm not a good measure of that mythology.
Probably not.
I've also killed my own, or I've tried to kill my own with my own hands, so also not.
Hey, we got one successfully.
I am objective from the other point of view. Regardless of if people are my own or not, I should attempt to save them.
But what if they don't need saving? If I do enough work, maybe I could find a way to give them their freedom. That way they could live properly.
It is
But
to them, but in the short term, I at least would want to attempt some way of protecting the people who visit this island, as well as the people who live on it.
But if we leave the Lord unfed,
If the
he may come back.
if the Lord's not around.
Then we may die.
What's a few dead people?
That's fair. I can't argue that.
And on that note, it's questionable about what would even happen, considering we did kind of kill one of your townspeople.
Hmm. Kind of kill? What do you mean?
I can do this
Cure.
thing. It's less a restoration, sort of. It's like lay on hands. It's a healing thing. I put my hands on him and it can cure a disease, and he puked up a parasite. But he was fine afterwards, at least to our knowledge, because we kind of left him to think on what he had done, and came back and he had disappeared.
To
But he wasn't
require
dead.
additional healing magic to stop internal hemorrhaging caused by the parasite, but seemed to be of stable health afterwards.
That could prove to be a lot of work. You understand?
Well, I can do. Let's see, I can do like 7 people a day with that, and if you give me enough time to prep some others, I could probably do up to like, I don't know, 10.
Including the healing.
That's where someone else would have to jump in.
Yes. If you take into account moving the parasites and healing, we could most certainly do a lot more than just 7 or 10 of them. I believe that alone I could probably heal close to 20 in the short term, and if there were less serious cases, many more than that.
Can I roll an insight check on this guy?
Sure.
I'm trying to figure out if he is considering this. Like if he's 16. A 16.
He certainly appears to be at least somewhat considering it, but he seems torn, largely.
What is your hesitation?
Saving them and giving their control back immediately may be good. But if you do it that quickly, then there's also a possibility that they would have trouble coming to terms with what they had to do to live.
I mean, yeah, that kind of probably already happened.
Exactly. Which is why my entire intention was to do it slowly over time. It's true. A few individuals did go awry and a few things did go wrong, which I am not pleased by, but I feel it's better than just rushing into it.
How long would you need?
I don't know. Weeks, months, possibly years. Your idea of the lesser restoration could certainly be very effective, but if one went too fast and didn't help them along,
course. I believe that this individual we cured was also aided a bit in terms of magically inducing friendship. It
Yeah.
allowed us to ease them into thoughts of what they did. Similarly, I could calm their emotions for a bit as they process, but this would only be short term. Only way to completely do a long term thing would be some sort of magic to alter the memories of the effects.
My idea was to slowly make them less reactive to the word of our Lord. If they feel less of a connection to him, then maybe they'll be a bit more free.
If the Lord is dead, would they
Then
feel that?
they may be free, but it would happen immediately. May I make a recommendation to you all?
Yes.
Just leave us. Leave me to find some solution to my own problem. I can serve Alexander up to you on a silver platter. Let you kill him. I don't care what happens to the man. But I will ask you to leave my lord alone.
I don't know that I can leave the Lord alone. I was told by the hunter god himself to kill him.
Regardless, if we are attacked, we will defend ourselves.
I want to help your people. I do. I'm. But I can't leave the Lord alone.
With him might not require killing him.
Then what would your idea be?
It would require actually encountering him. But it might be possible to simply banish him to another plane.
Do you think you can make it last forever?
Myself, probably not at my current abilities, but there are numerous people that we have contact with who can come to us rather quickly, who could make it much more long term.
Roll persuasion.
Alright. Persuasion.
17.
I'm still worried about what that would do to my people.
It could sever the connection as much as killing him would, or it could just merely lessen it, or it could do nothing. I don't think we know.
With
Don't
my
believe
way,
it.
I know that. With my way, I know that eventually I'd be able to do it.
Do
Don't
you really,
believe that
though?
it would sever connections so severely.
I certainly know I could, given enough time, and considering that I believe that time is something I'll have plenty of now.
Going back to a previous question, would we be able to see your book? We might be able to offer insights of our own.
Only if I have your word that you won't harm the Lord.
I can give my word that I will not.
You cheeky bastard.
When I said you, I meant all of you.
I can't make this promise.
Considering he seems to be set on attacking us on sight, I don't think I can make that promise.
I took an oath to protect travelers. That includes those on the sea. I can't break my tenets. You'd be asking me to
I have a fucking god. A god. Not a Lord of the Sea. A god telling me to kill this guy.
It's not.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So this tentacle, you said it was taken by force.
Yes.
Okay. Have you talked to this Lord of the Sea?
No.
Okay. Do you think this could be a punishment because it lost something?
It's possible.
Okay. So, has it come? You mentioned that you kept feeding this Lord of the Sea, otherwise it would come for you. Aye.
Yes.
Has it come for you before?
You aren't sure if this is a smile or a grimace, but you watch the sides of his lips kind of like tighten a bit.
Why, yes, of course. I'm sure you noticed the fissures, the large cracks in the land.
Okay.
He came.
So, it's entirely possible that if we show this Lord of the Sea that we've dealt with the thing that stole its tentacle, that stole a piece of it, that either kill it or give the god of the sea, the person that stole from it, potentially it would just let all of you go, and not in a violent way, right? So then we deal with the actual problem instead of all the other side stuff.
Kill Alexander and bargain with the Lord of the Sea.
Aye.
How would you bargain with him, out of curiosity?
Either give him the actual captain's body or give him his head. Say, hi, we dealt with the problem. We're not gonna deal with... You can be calm about somebody taken from you, because you've gotten your revenge. Now leave everybody else the fuck alone, and we won't come after you either.
To kind of
Call a truce.
To kind of add on to his thought, I mean, he only started attacking people recently, didn't he?
Aye.
So it would make sense that he's just getting this because he's pissed.
Aye.
Dean, while cooking his fish, now on a pan, kind of crosses his arms slightly, kind of cocks his head.
You aren't wrong. The attacks on ships certainly has been happening more often. He did still attack people before, but not as frequently.
I mean, any animal has got to eat at some point.
This is also true.
You can't fault an animal for wanting to eat. But you
But you can fault an animal for rampaging.
Aye, exactly.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
Natural 20.
This is gonna go well. Persuasion.
Please.
7.
Oh no! You rolled a 7 and a 6.
Why?
Oh,
Why
this
can't
is
they give us?
so
Why can't
good.
you give us a good thing? Why can't you give us a good thing for once, algorithm?
Hey.
Fuck you.
Oh, you're talking to the algorithm, not me. I was
Yeah,
like, what
the
did I
algorithm.
do?
Oh my god!
I was like the algorithm. Fuck you,
Sucks.
algorithm.
It was such
you
a
use
good.
my
It was such a
eye?
good. thing
It's a good
too.
argument too. Like what the fuck?
It's a brilliant argument. Okay, I know how I can fix this. Or, well, not fix this. I know how I can... How he can kind of push back this. This is a reasonable argument. But you still need to find a way to make it understand that the killing of Alexander and his crew is in order to buy my people their freedom.
We could bring the body back here.
It's not necessarily the same, though.
Could talk to him. Probably.
You'd have to speak to it. But how will you speak to a beast? Some idiot.
I can speak anything.
Wow.
But will it
I
understand?
Pretty
speak-
good at,
I speak deep.
and I can talk to animals.
I think he's saying the problem isn't necessarily.
Peace.
Yeah, he's not intelligent. I know.
Jill, I speak idiot.
That actually might be the most useful thing here, considering it's an idiot.
Well, yeah. The main problem is not that it's not the language. It's
I
the
mean-
intelligence.
You said
I
that
know.
Alexander spoke to it somehow, so it has to have some ability to speak, does it not?
Possibly.
And I've met some of my old, some of the crew of the Temptation. They were on a different ship, and they all only understood the deep. Basically, they got that language from somewhere.
I do have one way that could possibly work. I noticed when examining the bodies of several of the people from the Temptation, there are tentacles from the captain on it that provided some telepathy or telepathic abilities. However, I do not know of any potential side effects. That said, if used carefully, these would offer a way to communicate with it, at least at a basic extent.
Speak to its mind directly, you can reason with anything.
Yes.
Are you sure it would work?
I'm sure that the telepathy would work. However, it would require the right person in order to effectively communicate the ideas.
I have telepathic bond. I don't know if that'll help.
Hold on, let me double check telepathic bond.
No, I think it has to be a willing creature, so I don't
I
think it
think,
would.
yeah, it's 8 willing creatures.
Yeah.
It's also a
Unfortunately-
ritual.
No, but you can
Well,
also
no,
cast
it's,
it.
oh, sorry, it's an action. I apologize.
You can cast it regularly, but I don't have.
But
hold on.
what he's
He's saying regular.
Cody's talking about,
telepathy.
he's talking about telepathy, which in
Here's
theory
a question for you.
would work perfectly.
You didn't specify that it has to be language. Would, like, images and emotions be able to be conveyed through this telepathy?
I think any animal understands hate. Your large friend. And I will point out, Dean says large friend. This Dean in his current state is a little bit taller than you, Gale.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's still referring to you, but...
Aye.
He's being nice.
I believe he understands that any animal has a certain amount of emotional intelligence.
And I believe that we would be able to convey these feelings of repentance, retribution, this calming of anger, reason, but to its base emotions.
If you know a way to get me to link with it, I could do the talking on that.
Yes, there
I
is
don't know for
certainly a
certain.
way.
To be completely honest with you all, I don't know for certain. I'm sure Alexander had some kind of a trinket, or maybe had some potion of food laying about, and he managed to be lucky enough to find something that did work. And if that's the case, then maybe somebody else could do it and convince him to free my people.
Research might be useful here because I happen to have of someone who was almost an Illithid-esque version of was affected by this change and suddenly capable of
That
telepathy.
sounds like one of Alexander's crew.
Yes, and I believe the lingering magical energy that it could possibly be used for something akin to this.
Do you think you'd be able to make a potion of it? Any of you?
I look at Ro. Maybe.
There's a possibility.
Not us. I believe that my companions have contacts in one of the larger continents.
We do know a potion maker.
And
I mean, Ro can also
And bro.
make stuff. Ro can make stuff.
Bro literally just read an entire book on
Yeah.
alchemy.
On
Yeah.
alchemy?
Yeah.
Ro can. I don't know what we don't even. We have a person here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ro could...
Nah, it's cool. We can outsource.
well,
Yeah.
that's
Fine, I'll
saying,
just
that's
roll
saying
it
if we
now.
that is
It's
saying
easy.
if we don't have the proper supplies for it.
Oh god. I was just gonna my brain just came up with this. Ro could make a homunculus and then use all of the Illithid tentacles in the creation of the homunculus.
Oh no.
Oh no. Too many.
My little tentacle boy, speak to the beast for me!
Speak
We
to
can-
your dad now, little
we
tentacle
can-
baby.
We have the ability to.
Yes.
I think.
It may take a little bit of time, but there are numerous means through which we can achieve this.
I would recommend you do it fast then. We tend to send offerings every month or so.
And you just sent one.
So you have about a month.
I guess our next way forward probably starts with Alexander.
Don't worry. We had an island that we could meet up on. I'll tell him to meet me there. And when you find him, you can kill him.
It is possible that he might have on him whatever he used to communicate, making all of this moot.
It's also possible. I will point out to you. You, young lady, in the red.
Me? Yeah? What?
You speak of Alexander as if you know him. Correct?
Yeah.
He is not the same man he was before. He's bloodthirsty, yes. He's still that bloodthirsty. But he is very different. Just as I was given a gift by the Lord of the Sea, he was also gifted as well. I believe he may have been given something stronger.
Great.
But I believe this is a decent enough agreement. Come with me. And he will actually begin walking out of the ruins, if you will follow him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
We're going on an adventure.
Okay. So, Dean, who... Well done, guys.
I'm happy, based off of the stories from before, all of the charismatic people in the party didn't know how to properly actually play it out.
Dude, I don't
So-
fucking know. I still
So
don't
I'm
know.
happy with both the charisma and the ability to speak things out.
I do have one thing that I guess we can do it as we're walking. Actually didn't expect him to.
Didn't expect this to work.
No, I expected to leave him behind and she was gonna linger, but since we're moving, I guess she can just kind of quietly like. So, when you sailed with them, did you also sail with these three other people? Sam, Shadi, and Hayden. Does that sound familiar to you?
Sam, Shadi, and Hayden.
Hayden's the ship druid.
Gotcha.
Shadi's the bosun, and Sam's the cook.
And
It's-
Sam and
Shadi,
Shadi didn't participate.
right?
Gotcha. No. I didn't sail with them.
Okay. I didn't think so, but I had to check.
Well, I don't know much about them. I can only wish you good luck, and hopefully they are in good shape. But, and Dean coming out carrying his fish on a plate, as he was making himself a late dinner, or early breakfast, whatever you want to call it, will step outside to the ruins, now with the light of day beginning to arrive, slowly but surely. It is beginning to arrive. If you guys were to guess, you'd say it's probably about 5 o'clock.
I don't have to guess. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, fine. It's 5 o'clock. Fucking shitty baby. But you must understand. I am very powerful. And it's because that idiot gave it to me. And he'll raise his hand up to the sky, and he will begin making some motions with his hands, and you watch as the overcast sky begins to clear. More and more, until eventually the skies are completely blue, and the sea begins to calm. You should have a fair amount of weather for the next few miles. I'll be telling him where to meet up, and well, odds are you'll be meeting him there.
Yeah.
He moves very fast.
So I've
Be
heard.
careful. I can do stuff like that. I don't know what he can do.
That explains. Thank you.
Thank
Yes.
And Dean, the Bishop of the Sea Lord, Lord of the Sea, will go back into his ruins to presumably fulfill his end of the bargain.
All right.
And I'm
So we
assuming
know
he
where
like
we're
told
meeting
us.
them.
Oh, yes. He will actually provide you with a sea log telling you how to get to this island in question.
Okay, we should get back on the boat and get some sleep because I don't know about the rest of you, but I am very tired.
Yeah, my god has pretty much told me fuck you on having any luck for the rest of the time, so I need to go to sleep.
We did
I just want a snack, honestly. A snack sounds good.
Right.
That was a lot of brain that I used. I need a bit of a snack.
Yeah, it's a lot of
You did
energy you
good.
spent thinking.
You did good, kid.
Thank you.
No, I loved it.
Actually,
You did
before
great.
this is really important because I thought of this while we were talking, and this is going to be my last thought for this day. Gale, do not bite the Lord of the Sea. I know
Please
you have
don't.
that goat ring, but do
Oh
not.
god.
No. See, we're trying to help. Also, I don't want to look like I'm half of a fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
They got this by eating, and you don't want to
Oh,
eat
yeah.
that.
Yeah. I'll bite this captain guy though. I'll probably eat him.
That's
Just not for
fine.
Lord of the
You should-
Sea.
I guess.
You should try to save any of the huts that aren't particularly humanoid, as they might be useful for creating items or potions that will help us deal with this Lord of the Sea.
My thought is, I think, Dea, after we get some rest, you're gonna have to go a little bit more in detail what happened with this mutiny.
I mean, I can tell you right now, it's not that special.
I would be okay with that, but I am tired and I would like to
I said
my-
after we sleep.
Okay.
Alright.
After we sleep. I am very tired right now.
Well,
All right. So if you wish, you guys can begin heading back to your to the boat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which,
Aye.
in this case, I'll say you guys were able to do so with no real issues. Making your way back towards where you had the skiffs left behind, you would also
Jotun.
find Jotun
yes.
sleeping underneath one of the overturned skiffs.
She's okay.
She is indeed okay.
We're gonna take her with us.
Okay.
She's a
and you'll
better
take-
chance of survival with us than on this town.
So you'll take Jotun with you, and she will join your ship as a crew member. And with that,
Someone who is actually not afraid of a little bit of danger.
yeah, with that, we will be ending today's session. Well fucking done, you guys. Holy shit.
We unlocked a new
I'm
companion.
very happy I never get to play like these really charismatic characters.
Between you and Gale, man.
Yeah, for real.
Wow,
Like,
so
Gale-
most
Gale
experienced
has,
players
like-
are really good at talking.
Gale, I'm gonna be okay. First off, congratulations, you guys leveled up to 11. Congratulations.
What?
Second,
Fuck.
Gale, your argument was perfect.
Yeah.
Like, you'll never be able to find this out, like, in game. So I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, you actually hit the nail on the head. Like, your assumptions were perfect, and your argument worked so well that he was like, "Oh, this actually makes a lot of sense."
Yeah.
So you did brilliantly.
Now we just
I'm
have to
glad.
find out.
Rolled well enough on those random medicine
Yeah.
checks to dissect the bodies to actually have items capable of helping.
That's also you did very well, because I don't typically make people that not like single people, like characters. I don't typically make them that strong. He was very strong. I kind of hinted towards it with that last action, but that he cast Control Weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Kate's really proud of us for leveling up, guys.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming for the rest of
I'm
the
also
did
proud
it.
of us.
I'm surprised.
I did
With
not
that,
expect.
ladies and gentlemen, we'll be ending today's session there on a nice level up note and a plan to get revenge on the man by the name of Alexander.